shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, and eyes, and eyes, and eyes, and eyes, and mouth, and mouth, and mouth, and mouth.
They're coming.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
That's right, then forward.
Well, there's your choice. You've got Google, you've got Microsoft. Either way.
I want Nintendo Skype.
Yay!
I want Sega Skype.
I want Sega Master System Skype.
It'll last for 5 minutes, be arguably better than anybody else, but due to a lack of software, will die.
Oh, Dreamcast. The everyday you don't exist upsets me. It makes me cry. So yes, you have entered the old oil house. With me today are 3 other people. 3 manly people. The first one is a man who has brought us the more impressions of Christopher Walken than we deem necessary. He is...
Hey. Hello. Welcome to Back to the 80s. Podcast that travels back through time in a row since he did... Oh, hang on.
No. That's your show. Today you're at my mercy.
Yeah, that's my show that we copy off you. I mean, that's my show. Hello, it's me, it's Dreadwind.
How are you today, sir?
Okay, how are you?
I'm alright, apart from Skype!
Fucking
Being
Skype.
shit!
Fucking Skype.
We
Skype
all love
being
Skype.
How
in
dare you, Skype?
In the same way that I hate life. Anyhow, next to him is the man who is my serving boy. He used to think himself my boss, but now I owe him. I own him hook, line, and sinker.
Enough of the bad puns. It's 50-50. Mind you, you're no longer freelance, so,
That's
you know, got you by the balls. Hi, this is Time Lord. Hey, you could be doing over a million things right about now, but, you know, for the next couple of hours, why don't you just shut up and listen to me talk? Ha 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 ha! Sorry.
And that's the end of the show. Thanks for listening, people. Bye-bye now.
Hello, I is back.
Oh, did you leave?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't realise.
I thought he was being quiet.
And as you've just heard, the third person in our menage a 4, it's the man that I refuse now to call Hot Rodimus because it just feels wrong. It just means I have to go back to an earlier joke. He is...
Oh dear God in heaven, you're not.
Who are you?
Chaos MV.
A.K.A.
Chaos MV.
A.K.A.
Oh God. Chaos MV.
Let's get ready to A.K.A.
Can I go now?
Hot Rodimus. Thank you, you did not disappoint. It feels wrong me doing it. Other people shall dance to my tune. Marvellous.
I don't feel bad about saying it.
Yes, but I don't want to have to be the one that looks into Neve's eyes in many, many years' time and just go, I'm so sorry.
I think you'll have to do that anyway, mate.
Well,
yeah. to be fair, you know.
This is true for other reasons. But anyhow, yes, I stole your toys. I'm sorry, child.
Nuggets judges you.
Yes, he does. But we'll talk about that towards the end when you get to pimp your own stuff out.
Yeah.
With everybody introduced, I only have one question to ask. One question that'll probe the very innermost of your being.
Does it have to?
Oh, you're getting some probing, sir. You're getting some probing.
It sounds like it might hurt.
And then there's going to be some question.
Okay.
You agreed. Get in. I ask you this. What do you have this week that you didn't have last week? Because if you had it last week, you wouldn't have it last week. And if you've been on the show last week, which none of you were on the show last week, so I would have been asking you this question last week, but instead you've been on the show this week, so instead I'm going to ask you this question this week, so what have you got?
Wow.
A bacon sandwich.
Is it a tasty bacon sandwich?
Oh, it has to be tasty, otherwise I'll be, spitting it out on the floor, and you don't want that, do you? You don't want that.
Happened at
No,
all
that-
assembly.
Hey, we promise that what stayed at Auto Assembly stays at Auto Assembly.
Not like Captain Redbeard.
Actually, I was having a cup of coffee there. Although, for some reason, I've just got Jai shouting that in the Captain Caveman voice. Captain Redbeard!
But golden ripping.
Oh, God.
The old oil house does not condone vape.
No. To be fair, it's the beard doing it.
Yes.
We leave that for the Transformers.net. Hey, Billy!
What, raping?
Yeah.
Shit! That's a hell of a podcast.
There's no podcast, just Billy.
It's just the sound of... No, anyhow, right, moving on.
Yes, quickly.
So, apart from bacon sandwiches and rape, what has everyone... Oh, Jesus God. What do people have? What do people get in the last week?
Well, I'll kick it off, because I'm a guest and that. I'll repeat what I got. What I repeated, what I got, what I repeated, what I got, on back to the 80s. Lots and lots of fighting fantasy books and some dice. But they're neon dice.
Ooh.
They're, what do they call them? Platonic solids.
Oh, all right.
No multi-sided ones. But they're in various neon colour schemes. The whole set was called the Toxic set. And they're sort of marbleized, but so you've got like sort of a sickly yellow and a neon orange. Purples and greens and all kinds of lovely colours, and yes, I like them. So I set those and loads of fighting fantasy books. I've got about 11 now, so way off the full set, but I should be buying more.
Fantastic stuff.
Because they're fun.
I would just like to point out, fighting fantasy books are great. Games Workshop is not.
What? This is the thing, I had to order these dice online. Because I went into the Games Workshop in Lincoln and they don't sell dice.
No.
What?
Yeah,
They don't
they've
sell-
stopped selling dice now. Yes.
Yes, only in the sets, only in the games do they sell do they have dice. They don't actually sell dice on their own.
That's a
At
bit
Games
stupid,
Workshop.
really.
That's because they're greedy bastards. Didn't people figure this out before?
That's fucking retarded, frankly.
I draw your attention to back to the 80s 2 weeks ago, maybe? Where my homework decided to stop being the homework.
That wasn't a rant, that was spectacular. And I hope it was delivered in the manner in which it was written.
Oh, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I had a feeling it probably was.
I looked back at it and just went, oh, God, I'm glad I edited that again. There was less of the word fuck in there, so that was good.
Yeah. That wouldn't have mattered. Back to the 80s, we swear.
Fuck.
Fuck!
No, it was more
It was the 80s that made it was the 80s that made swearing cool, wasn't it?
Exactly. It was specifically the film Midnight Run, which is the sweariest film ever made.
Awesome.
You heard it here, folks. No Midnight Run, no Deadwood.
Exactly. Cunt guzzler. Anyway. Good luck editing.
Editing? I'm just going to shove an explicit logo on it and go, hey!
That's what we usually do. But yeah, the first place I went to buy some dice to go with the fighting fantasy books was Games Workshop, and they don't sell dice in Games Workshop.
Because they're greedy retards.
They do sell single figures for about 12 quid though, you know.
Shut up!
No, that's real.
Single
That's real.
plastic figures for 12 quid.
They can
They don't
shove
sell
it up their arse.
I wasn't kidding when I said I once bought a Space Marine Rhino for a £5,
Oh, yeah.
and it's now, I think it's 25 quid.
Yeah, it's 25 quid.
And I just... what?
That's a hell of a lot of inflation.
I think
Speaking of Space Marines, though, I did download an Amiga emulator, and I have got Space Crusade and Space Hulk for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're quite good.
Space Crusade's freaking awesome.
Space Crusade's awesome, but Space Hulk is still as shitty pants scary and annoying as it always was. I'm happy to say. And still with a great soundtrack.
Oh, it did. It really did. The music on that thing was brilliant.
Oh, brilliant. Marvellous. But fucking Gene Steeler still kill you within about 2 seconds of bloody encountering them.
Yeah, I do remember shouting at the screen when I was much, much younger, playing it on a 486, screaming away, God damn it, I'm a fucking Terminator! I shouldn't be dying this easy!
Yeah, and there's sort of no health bar either.
No, it's just alive, dead.
Dead. Much like life, really. So I can't that.
Yeah, folks, Space Hulk Life Simulator.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, Space Crusade, absolutely awesome. And one that will actually interest you, Adam, because I've heard you go on about this before, the Chaos Engine.
Oh, yes, perfection.
Steampunk perfection.
Fucking, I love Chaos Engine. To this day, I wish that somebody somewhere would bring out a proper update of it.
Yeah, that would be cool. But yeah, so it's WinUAE, so if anybody ever wants it, get it, because it's really, really cool. It's pretty easy to set up. It's not that intuitive to set up, but it's pretty easy. So yeah, much fun was had playing Space Crusade.
Awesome stuff. Oh man, you got me thinking now. I need to play Chaos Engine.
Oh, Hero Quest is on there as well. Hero Quest.
I had Hero Quest, but I don't remember much about it. I think Space Crusade took over.
It's pretty much like the board game. Both of them.
Yeah, I had I think a demo of the Commodore 64 version, and all I can remember was big grey slabs and the occasional door.
Yeah, it's a bit different on the Amiga. There's actually
Sounds like every Commodore game, does it not?
Wait, slightly worse than the Spectrum game, which would have been sort of teal.
Oh.
Yeah.
with bits of purple bleeding over into the teal. Oh, monochrome, how I love you. Either that or it would have been all black and white and you wouldn't have been able to make out shit. Like the Nightmare game.
Oh.
That is one of the worst games I've ever played in my life, because you cannot get out of the first screen.
You know, you can't. I think they gave it away free on the front of the magazine one day, and I had that for the Commodore. It took forever to frickin' load, and then once you eventually reached it, it was just one door, that's it. Couldn't go anywhere, you just bouncing off the walls, and then you went, fuck this shit, and you threw it away.
Sounds like a classic 80s game.
No, you had you had the objects on the floor, I believe, didn't you, Glenn?
Yeah, they didn't do anything.
That's it.
That was Nightmare. That was the amazing game based on the actually amazing game. Unless you're Jeremy, in which case it was a bag of shit. I fucking hate that thing.
That's because Jeremy's got no taste.
Jeremy likes Star Wars. Anyhow.
Star Trek.
Fucking Star Wars. You heard me right, Jeremy. I'm calling you out. Star Wars is rubbish.
And the war begins again.
Marvellous.
Makes me a podcast quizzling.
Spell casting. Star Wars sucks. Anyhow,
Greedo shot last.
Fuck Greedo. Just get Sheridan on the case. The
Oh,
entire
yeah.
half an hour long. He tells all to get the hell out of his galaxy.
Like I said, I'm back to the 80s. Del Boy Trotter, Han Solo, same person. Millennium Falcon is just the three-wheel van.
Oh, can that make Boba Fett the vehicle from Dukes of Hazzard?
Oh, the General.
I just want to hear that horn go off as Boba Fett's coming after the Millennium Falcon.
See, that makes Darth Vader Boss Hog, surely.
It does, and that works for me.
Or, no, hang on a minute, no, even better, Palpatine's Boss Hog. And that makes Vader Roscoe P. Coltrane.
That makes Vader the dog. Come to me, my pet. Master, do you have any treats? Dear Vader, you may have one marrow bone. Ultimate marrow bone. Moving swiftly on.
Sorry.
Mr. Matt.
I don't know if I can possibly top anything Glenn said there. Though I have bought Sweet FA this week, but I can, since I'm the guest, go backwards in time since I am the Lord of Time, and say what the last two Transformers I got, which were Tomahawk and Terror Dive. Tomahawk is alright, but not as cool as Terror Dive. With Terror Dive, I can pretend he's either Bruce Lee in his Game of Death costume, or he's Aquaman. He's a bright orange ring with a trident, and I freaking love him.
I'm going for Aquaman because the new Aquaman comic is freaking superb.
I would go for the goalie in Shaolin Soccer.
Terror Dive, we want you in goal.
All I can say is I'll have the fish and chips. Anybody who's read Aquaman issue 1 will know what I mean.
I don't talk to fish.
What's it like to be the most suckiest and most pissed upon superhero on Earth? Hello? Okay then, you're going. Oh, okay. I blew it, didn't I?
Not only is he leaving, he's taking his trident and going home.
As he should.
Aquaman rocks.
Aquaman's always been awesome.
Yeah.
And everybody else, but I was also somebody in my Aquaman t-shirt, by the way, ish t-shirt one. When I was in that, so many people said, oh, it sucks and shit. Thinking, you fucking wait. You wait.
I loved the 60s cartoon series. I don't know why, but I loved it.
The only Aquaman I can honestly say I don't thoroughly enjoy is the, the water hand one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because they were trying too hard with him then.
They were trying to make him 4. That's the thing.
Yeah. I mean, I love Hook Hand, big beard, big hair Aquaman because they tried to make him all
Batman.
super hard and but he was still cool. The character still came through, and I freaking love good old ever wacky Silver Age Aquaman with his fish hospital.
Oh yeah.
Fish hospital and the little octopus with the nurse's uniform.
Oh, that's why I like Aquaman in Brave and the Bold, because that is that Aquaman.
Yeah. But this new Aquaman, really liking. Anyway, I've pushed us off point here with my love of Aquaman. Pray continue.
That's fine, because I'm going to push this even further off topic, because those are the only 2 Transformers I bought since Auto Assembly. So the only other thing I bought was Space Marine. So we're back on that subject.
Continuation.
All I can really say is it took 30 years of me not being interested in the Warhammer universe whatsoever, and then I play that game and now I want to know more.
The universe is quite good. I recommend, if you want to get into the universe, a book of short stories called Deathwing. It is superb. I have owned 5 copies of it now.
Is that a Dan Abnett one, or is that from various...
This is various people. I don't think Dan Abnett's in it. It was actually originally published in the late 80s.
See, this is weird, though, because I remember Dan Abnett as that guy that just wrote all the stories of all the tie-ins, like Galaxy Rangers, Visionaries, etc., etc. And he'd be, if it wasn't Simon Furman, it would usually be Dan Abnett who did the text stories for Transformers and stuff. So to go from that to being renowned as the guy who's done the Warhammer fiction, that's quite an achievement.
Oddly enough, Deathwing is you can actually play that on Space Hulk.
Yes.
All the Deathwing missions are actually on Space Hulk.
Yeah. And that's the reason I had a Dark Angels army when I was younger.
Ultramarines.
No, Ultramarines are the Cyclops of the Warhammer universe. They're blue and boring.
I like the Ultramarines.
See, I always saw you as a Space Wolves kind of guy.
You see, I had a Space Wolves army as well, and that thing is freaking ridiculous.
Because they're Vikings.
It's because they're Vikings in space.
I do like that orc in the game, the one who's got the big cannon on him, and he ends up. Spoilers for those who haven't listened or haven't played the game, but.
Hi there.
Hi. Yeah. All right. I'll shut up then.
No, I've not played it. I'm not
He
old to play it.
basically fights some chaos.
Mhm.
That I like that character. He's like the Space Marines.
It's
With
not
that voice,
Gazgrul, is it?
I wouldn't know.
Gazgrul Fracker.
Because I'm not really that versed into it.
See, if they ever make a movie of Space Marines or anything like that, I'm telling you, Alan Ford, aka Bricktop, has to be an orc or a goblin. He has to do one of the.
That would be awesome.
You calling me a fucking orc?
Yo, you slag!
Chop your fucking Jacobs off.
Now, the average Space Marine is about 8 foot tall. He weighs close to half a ton. Now, for an entire squad of orcs to eat that much Space Marine, I can't remember the rest of the quote to bastardize it, but I think that would be absolutely fantastic.
Exactly.
All
you
I've had
could
in
have
my head.
him, Ray Winston, Jason Statham,
He's
Bob Hoskins.
He's busy playing Darth Vader anyway.
and what's his face? Fell out of EastEnders, Steve McFadden.
Yeah.
McFadden already looks like a fucking orc, let's face it, so, you know.
He's
You
living
get the
down
mixture
my
of
end.
brothers in.
Steve
Yeah, well-
McFadden's actually living in Hastings at the moment.
Poor Steve.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry.
Go ask him if he wants to play an orc.
You can have him back if you want.
I just want to see Ray Winston as an orc. Oh, possibly the most cockney man in the universe, apart from Alan Ford.
Oh, no. He is the most cockney man in the world. Purely for, my name's Beowulf. I'm here to kill your monster. I love the idea of you could have
the Beowulf
feed him
game.
to the squigs, Errol.
You need to play the Beowulf game. We've given him different jobs. My name's Beowulf, and I'm here to fix your pipes.
Oh, dear.
My name's Beowulf.
Whack on.
My name's Beowulf. I'm here to sell jelly deals. You slag.
My name's Beowulf, and are you paying too much for your electricity?
My Beowulf. Have you had an accident in the last 5 years?
My name's Beowulf. Who's the daddy here, Chris? Is it prawn cocktail? No, because if you're going to have him selling bloody accident in 5 years, it needs to be Brian Butterfield, surely.
Or Billy Murray.
No, it definitely needs to be Brian Butterfield.
I swear to God, I thought you were going to say Billy Bragg.
Billy Bragg, that'd be awesome. Billy Bragg is an orc. But he just ain't fighting, he just sings communist songs at you. Hold it there, Space Marines. Just need to give you a few courses of the red flag.
Rob, quickly, whilst there's a moment of silence.
Topic!
What have you got this week? What have you gained since last time you were on the show? 'Cause I think there's one answer there.
There is one answer there, yeah. I got a little girl called Neve.
Yay!
Who is quite possibly the most gorgeous thing ever. Thankfully, she looks like a mum, rather than me. Because whereas I am a stunningly handsome man, I would make a damn ugly girl.
Speak for yourself. in the dark, you're as soft as any girl.
Oh, God.
It's meant in love.
Man babies.
Go give you a tap. Otherwise, I'm going to hit you in the back of the head with a pan and do things to your corpse.
And just to reassure you, considering Tricky was asking last week, the articulation is very good. The variety of poses you can get, including various different facial expressions, from puke face to poopy face.
Poopy face is my favourite.
Well, you were the one who discovered the poopy sound.
The poopy sound is the greatest thing I've ever heard. It's like a tiny chainsaw.
Adam was just holding it, and And we heard this noise, and Adam was like, that wasn't her, was it? That noise shouldn't have come from a child. And then 2 minutes later, there was the noise again, but even louder.
Now, I'm not a dad, but I am like kid number 2 of a family of 7. So I know my fair share of babies in those times. I know exactly where you're coming from.
It just starts up and... It's just bizarre.
And the only problem with the articulation, I have to say, is the rubbery legs. Because at the minute, the legs are like they're on elastic bands.
That's why
every time she goes to poop, you see the legs ping back up. It's hilarious.
It's why I bought you some Masters of the Universe classic stands.
Awesome. I did actually get something else this week. I got myself the SIC Kamen Rider Double Cyclone Joker.
Nice.
It is very, very nice. I've got it here in front of me. I did notice when I was playing with it earlier that the face has got a really nice touch to it, because you know how it's got the sort of jaggedy edges between the two colours of the body rather than a nice slim line. The actual very bottom of the mouthpiece is a little wider than the rest of the break on the head, so it's kind of like what was it? RX, the one that we had over here.
Master Rider, Prince Dex.
Yeah.
We do not speak of that.
Well, basically, you know, the face on that where it's got the silver bit at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of emulates that a little bit, which is quite nice. I just thought it was a nice touch because that was the first sort of Kamen Rider I'd ever known.
Yeah.
The only problem I have with it is he changes into Cyclone Joker Extreme, and I thought, you know, it was maybe just a few extra little clip-on pieces, but it is actually an entire different figure. The only thing it is missing is the central sort of bits for everything to clip into.
Alright.
And considering it's the same price as the Kamen Rider Skull and Fang Joker pack and the Heat Metal and Lunar Trigger pack, I think it's kind of cheeky the fact that they haven't sort of just given you 2 figures.
Yeah.
Because as I say, I thought it was, you know, I was going to have to either decide which one I wanted to display, or I could maybe do something with the extra bits to make it look like it was sort of hovering around him or something. But it is like an entire figure. The only thing it is missing is the actual belt part of the driver belt, because there is actually an extra buckle, and the actual central core bit for everything to clip into. It's the only bits that are missing.
That's bizarre.
It is quite bizarre, but it is a lovely figure, and I've already had him posed with my Skull and Fang Joker.
Ah, cool. Now I'm going to be very, very dense. Have they done an SL yet? Because I'm not a follower of SIC, so I wouldn't know.
Not to my knowledge.
Because I'm unashamedly a figure arts fanboy, so I don't really follow the SIC line, but you really kind of need SL to finish the big trio.
At the minute, I'm just concentrating on getting the actual double ones, just for the different versions of him.
And the nose.
I may spring to others if they pop up, and I can, you know, sell my baby. They are expensive.
All I've got left to get.
Wow, that didn't take long.
Lunar Trigger. That's all I need to get from the figure arts line to finish off my double. I've got all the rest. They are pretty nice. Like I said, I might just get an SIC at some point, because Mikey did a review for the Deno one, and I think the Deno one looks pretty damn badass. It looks really gothy.
It's the reason I like them. Stu actually picked up on it before I did. It's the fact that they're very Guyver-esque. The look of them is very organic, which I kind of really like.
Do you know which one of them looks the most like a Guyver? I think it's the Black RX or the black one. I think whatever one that they've really monstered up.
Yeah.
So it's really sort of outside the field of what it was meant to look at. That one, I think, looks pretty damn Guyver-esque.
I shall have to have a look.
I think it was Black RX. I might be wrong.
I shall have a look. As long as it doesn't make me want to buy it, because I can't afford it.
Personally, for me, I don't like the look of it, because I think it's too dissimilar for what it's meant to look like. Whereas the Denner one, you can still see the likeness, and it still can be its own thing, and still pass for what it's meant to be. Whereas I think, whatever that one is a little bit too left-wing. It's a little too far out.
I think the only Deno one I actually saw was the Momo one, which I was quite tempted by.
Now, that is a thing of beauty. I do like that Momo.
Good stuff. I only own the one Kamen Rider figure.
Yeah, you need more, Adam. You need more.
Shut your face.
Hey, have you? Did you like see those those links to that toy I had the other month? You know, hey. You know?
Quiet, you. Jai's already trying to make me buy a Grand Patriot.
Jai is very wise.
Well, to be honest with you, it's now down to 30 quid. Might be tempted. Myself,
Make it even cheaper, and I'll be tempted.
Yeah, if another $5 came off that thing, I would snap it up. Purely for display purposes, because if you touch it, it falls apart. Myself, I've only got two things really to say. I've only got one toy, and that's Masters of the Universe Classics Leech.
Oh, very nice.
He's not bad. I have a couple of issues. The first one being, I don't like the placement of his hands.
Right.
Wait, on the end of his arms?
No, it's... well, they are, but... If you ever seen the Staction version, he's got these very long fingers that are all weird and creepy looking, and the suction cup thing is like, it's like webbing that comes between his hands. This one, it looks like he's holding a pair of saucers. And so it's really difficult to get him into a position where he doesn't look like he's mincing.
That's genius.
Apart from that, though, I really, really like him. Mostly because I like to make him run around going... I think he is rather cool. But I need to get a Merman next. I should really get a He-Man, but he's so low on my list. And I just want the Horde. I like the Horde and the Evil Warriors. They are my friends.
We need a Mantenna in that line.
We frickin' do. If there was a Mantenna with the Thunder Punch He-Man coming out, I could probably get the entire set of what I had as a kid.
Well, Thunder Punch He-Man's coming out.
He is, and I'm having that. I am having me a Thunder Punch He-Man.
He does look pretty cool.
Yeah, it's the little thing that they've got in his arm as well to make him look like he's punching. Yeah, I want it. The other thing I've done is started watching Bravestar.
It's good, isn't it?
10 episodes in, and so far my thought process is, feck me, did Filmation really make this?
Yep. One of the last things they ever made.
Well, if I can gather, it's pretty much the last thing that they made.
Yeah, it is.
The weird thing is, I watched, obviously got Rock and Rule not long back, and for some reason, a lot of the sort of techniques and stuff that I saw in Rock and Rule seem to be in this. A lot of the animation styles, and we seem to have lost Mr. Rob.
Oh.
I shall find him. But yeah, really enjoying Bravestar. Really, really enjoying it. It is a thing of beauty.
It is. And quite dark in places too.
Well, yeah, the intro to it,
The
first episode is pretty damn horrifying.
there's an episode that that's kind of memorable to me. Now, I can't remember how the whole storyline went out, but it had something to do with 3030. And I think he goes nuts over something, and Bravestar has to punch him in the face.
Well, I've seen him punch the horse in the face a couple of times now.
Yeah, I mean, it's what's stuck in my memory. I haven't watched the cartoon since it aired, so I wouldn't know. I watched about a couple of episodes when Jai first bought the DVDs and started going on about it on Twitter. And that's about it. But, yeah, I totally get what you mean. I mean, the animation's good, the cast is good.
Oh, yeah.
The cast is brilliant. It's really, really well done. It's just an absolute shame that ended up being the end of a legacy.
It is. It really is. I kind of wish there'd been more after this, because seeing what they did with Bravestar, I would like to have seen what they've managed to achieve with the later series. Yeah. Especially in the early 90s, instead of the New Adventures of He-Man.
I actually discovered, because I downloaded last Sunday when we recorded the You Know What comment.
Yes,
that thing that we'll talk about later on in the show. I went into a huge 1980s cartoon movie kick, so I went and acquired a lot of 80s movies. So like The Legend of Orin, the He-Man Christmas special, for some strange reason, and the Bravestar movie, because I've never seen the Bravestar movie. So I looked it up on Wikipedia, and I found out that the character of Tex Hex was originally created for the Filmation Ghostbusters cartoon.
Yep.
It was designed, and whoever, I think Lou Scheimer or whoever, one of the higher-ups in Filmation, came about this design, loved it, and then asked somebody to create a series based around him, and that ended up being Bravestar, with Tex Hex as the villain. So it all started with Ghostbusters.
That's quite scary.
So something
bizarre, isn't it?
Something did actually come good from that series.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? There was a monkey. It hunted ghosts.
Great.
Granted, the feeling, how I think this works in my head is nothing like what it would actually work like, which is a crying shame. I've never got through a full episode of the Filmation Ghostbusters.
I will never even go to it.
I do love the theme tune, though. Go, go, Ghostbusters.
That's the only good thing about it.
You know what's better than that? The Ghostbusters song.
It is, it is. I've now officially finished every single episode of the real Ghostbusters.
Oh dear, you should be happy. You're welcome. I found the soundtrack for you.
Yes, it's now on my phone, so I can listen to it when walking. It's brilliant.
Are you going to walk like the Ghostbusters?
Yep, my feet are going to be 3 foot ahead of my head.
Awesome.
And then green things will make me fall over.
Excellent.
So, moving on, I do believe we have some random bits of news.
Yes, very random.
Cue the news theme!
Da, 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 da. Oh, sorry.
So, now that Glenn has destroyed our news theme and broken it and replaced it with his, I will ask Rob. Rob, what is the first bit of news? What bit of news jumps out at you this week?
Well, the one that I The one that I've picked is one that will bring dread to the masses, and break the heart of many a person. It's movie news.
Oh God!
And
what are you doing? Get off my show! Where's the kick button? Block.
You can try. It's not going to work.
He's too pretty to block.
Cock block. Oh no.
Does anyone want to get like tissues or anything before I?
I'm sharpening an axe.
Why is it that good?
It's quite horrific.
Horrific. Okay.
Yeah, they have confirmed that the live action Akira movie is not dead and buried and is actually going ahead and could possibly shoot as early as February next year.
The last thing I heard about that is that the lead actor from Tron Legacy was going to be Kaneda.
Yeah, that's who's still a forerunner for it. They've not actually confirmed anything yet. It's just that's who they want to play Kaneda.
A blonde Caucasian male. Yay!
They're not.
It's not going to happen.
They're not in Neo Tokyo anymore. They're in New Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And apparently, it's not based on the anime. It's based on the original comic.
Right.
I'm not going to get angry about it. I'm not even. I'm borderline not going to comment on it because it's not going to happen.
Remind me towards the end of the show, Rob. I'll have to introduce you to Happy Harry's American Akira.
No, you won't, because I've already seen that.
Well, that's what I'm seeing. I'm going to watch that again later on, and I'll be happy with that.
See, in my mind, this Akira movie doesn't happen, doesn't exist. It's only Akira in name only. So if I can associate that in my mind, I'll be content. I'll be happy with the Japanese film I've got on DVD. That'll be good.
It won't get made.
I'm sure it will. They actually made that Priest movie, which is based on the manga series Priest.
Yeah.
It actually has nothing to do with the manga series Priest.
But
it's not a bad film, though.
Every year they come out and say, it's back on again. It's development hell. It'll never get made.
I hope not.
This is it. I mean, I don't care one way or the other, Glenn. It's that simple. If it gets made, it's only going to be Akira in name only. So what's the point in getting angry about it? That's all. I mean, those who are going to be purists, they've got the anime, they've got the manga. That's fine. What I would love to see is for the Japanese to actually do a live-action Akira. That would be cool.
To be fair, and this is controversial, Akira ain't all that anyway. I'm sorry, but it isn't. But that's purely because I can't be asked going reading the manga and understanding the last 40 to 50 years of Japanese politics.
Yes.
Which you have to understand. Anybody who says, "Oh, Akira is a great movie," you only understand half of it.
I will say this though, Glenn. Isn't it beautifully animated?
Oh, definitely. It's a really, really well animated film, but as a story, I'm always dubious of people in the West who say it's the greatest animated film ever made, because unless they really know their Japanese politics for the last 50 to 60 years, they don't have a clue what the fuck's going on in that movie.
But I'll give it its due. It knows how to build atmosphere, and it knows how to creep me the fuck out, which it did, especially with the teddy bear bleeding milk.
Oh yes, there was that.
That creeped me out.
Around the time that Akira came out for me, though, we had other animes out at the same time, and they were downright video nasty. So anything Akira did at that point, I was desensitized to.
Legend of the Overfiend.
Exactly what I was going to say. I want my live-action Legend of the Overfiend parts 1 to 7.
Oh God, no!
Directed by Uwe Boll.
Yes, challenge accepted.
Or Brett Ratner.
Well,
no.
For me as well, there was also stuff like Doomed Megaropolis and all that other stuff. So, yeah, they went through all the nice, gory and violent ones they can come up with. Oh, and Fist of the North Star was another one as well. You know,
I love that movie.
I prefer the live-action movie.
Matt
Dacascos?
Yes.
No. It's the dude who's the villain In City Hunter, the guy where they have this demented dream where he's Ken,
Yes.
and Jackie is all the other characters. So he's like Chun-Li and Hondo and all that other stuff.
See, in my head then, I didn't hear City Hunter, I heard Bitch Hunter. So all I think of is Will Ferrell as Fist of the North Star.
Oh, I hate you with a fiery passion.
Yeah, you do. Because now you can't get it out of your head, can you?
No.
Exactly. Awesome.
You're like a virus, Glenn. Frickin' virus.
Just go back to...
Well, my middle name is Descatellis.
Just go back to Jackie Chan in women's underwear. You'll be fine, Rob.
And now an intermission.
Glenn, do you want to jump on with your bit of news?
Yes. This is one that's been all over bloody Twitter in the last few days. If you follow anybody slightly comic related, and it's the men's fitness article about New York Comic Con.
Right.
Men's Fitness somehow blagged a couple of tickets for New York Comic Con, and I don't know how, a couple of press passes. And all they've done, one guy in particular called, and I'm going to name him, Jordan Burchett, or as I like to call him, Douchey McDouchison. And he'd gone on the pretense of, I wanted to see Captain America's new costume for the Avengers, fitness, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And all he's actually done is go around the con, take embarrassing pictures of cosplayers, and then put them up on the site with rather vile and increasingly horrible, nasty bullying almost, quotes. So he's got one of people cosplaying the Avengers, calling Avengers Dishevel, ha 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 ha. A fat Batman, you know, a guy who takes the piss off, he's dressed in like 300 garb, and he's basically saying he's fat. He certainly looks built, but I wouldn't say the guy's fat. You got a nerdy guy dressed as Magneto, who he calls, you know, public accountant Magneto. The worst one, though, comes on the second page, and it's a guy, it's let's say a thin gentleman, skinny guy, wearing an Iron Man outfit. And he doesn't look bad in it. And he says, Tony Stark, a.k.a. Iron Man, finally dying from the nuclear reactor in his chest.
Yeah. That's...
Now, it's basically just a guy who works for a jock magazine going, nerds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, basically he is just fucking Ogre out of Revenge of the Nerds. Nerds! But I think that where he's fucked up is he's actually posted a couple of New York City policemen.
Yeah.
With the caption saying Tubby Hawaii 5-0. That gentleman, Jordan Douchey Burchett, I think his name is, cannot now go in New York because he will get shot.
Maybe not shot, but he'll
get the shit beaten out of him by police anyway.
Yeah,
but,
he'll get a ride.
It's just incredibly mean-spirited.
Yeah, it is.
All of us, everyone listening to this has gone on sites before, looked at cosplayers and thought, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
But it's
more an article.
It's more a case of it being laughing at them than laughing with them.
Yeah.
Because cosplayers, 9 times out of 10, don't take it seriously.
No.
They do it for fun. That's why they do it. They dress up. They're bloody Halloween every single day of the year for cosplayers, which is why we love them, really.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's just gone surreptitiously to a place which is, you know, Comic-Con is a comfort zone for gigs.
Yeah.
And he's basically gone in there and said, ha ha ha, look at you, you're all fat. And they printed it, and it...
I was going to say, to be fair, I don't think he actually did. I think the chicken has probably been quiet, took the pictures, and wrote that away from, you know, prying ears. So, because he doesn't want to get lynched while he's there.
Well, no,
but this is the entire point, isn't it? That's what he's done.
Yeah, the intent for doing that is there at the beginning. That's why he's gone there.
Oh, yeah.
Men's Fitness has no business being at New York Comic Con.
I wouldn't even say his intent is important. The end product is the one that's important.
Yeah, I was actually going to get to that point, because I bet you he was quiet when they did this. You know, it's not a case of I'm going to go there and go, ha, 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 ha. But as you say, the intent is there. It's being nasty for nasty's sake, trying to somehow, because of the demographic he's aiming for, make them look superior in front of the geeks. And you're quite right. But
Well,
I
in a way,
bet you he was quiet while he was there, though.
I bet you, actually, in all honesty, I bet the coward was actually running around going, "Oh man, that's an awesome costume, can I take a photo of you?"
that wouldn't surprise me for a second. I mean, it's kind of backfired on him because I've looked at a lot of the Facebook comments on this, doing a bit of research and stuff, and a lot of the people who read Men's Fitness have actually said, "I'm not subscribing to it anymore because I'm a geek and I'm built." What you're saying?
Yeah.
You know, that people who like nerdy things can't be built or into fitness or anything like that. You're incredibly mean-spirited and a bit of a douche.
It's unnecessary is the term I'd use. Seriously unnecessary. And
Well,
the Tony Stark one is... It's
That's
just
fine.
being horrible. It is. It really
It's one
is.
thing to say someone's a bit chubby, ha ha ha. Because I'm a chubby guy, I can take it, you know, I've got thick skin. But to say someone, "Oh, you're so thin, you look like you've got cancer, ha ha ha," that's what?
Yeah, that deserves a punch in the fucking face, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And there's also one that's borderline racist because they've got a Mexican guy dressed as Doctor Strange who's basically alludes to he's going to turn me into a burrito supreme.
I was actually going to point this photo out for the reason of, Zatanna.
Yes, Zatanna. Well, apparently that's the Doctor Strange's wife. And she's noticed it, and she's gone on Facebook and said, "You're a racist bastard. I'm going to be taking this up with the appropriate authorities."
Yay!
Good. Because the other thing I was going to say was, how much fun does Doctor Strange look like to be around?
A lot.
There's just something about him that makes me want to go, "I want to drink with you, sir."
Yeah. Well, it looks like all of these guys are there having fun.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the whole point of cosplay. It's not something I would do. Personally, you know, I would never dare, but I know a lot of people who do, and they're fun people. They enjoy it, and a lot of people actually do it for charity as well.
Yes.
Especially people like the 501st.
The Star Wars guys.
Yeah, or there's a bunch of Battlestar Galactica ones as well who do it. I remember when I was at the London Film and Comic Con, all the 501st were there, and there was a bunch of Jedis as well. And they actually got the biggest collection of Jedis in the world ever. People dressed as Jedis. And there's a world record and all that. And it was all for charity. So, I don't know what... This guy, he's a muggle. he doesn't get it. He's obviously a muggle, and if I were him, I wouldn't go back to New York Comic Con, because basically it's like a rash all over Twitter, all over the internet. You do not want to piss off geeks.
No, because if there's one thing that we do very, very well, it's social networking.
Social networking, and also in his place of work, if his computer ever goes down, I wouldn't want to talk to those IT guys.
No, that's very true.
Wouldn't it be funny that if he would do it next year, he'd have to go in cosplay, so he'd be in disguise?
Well, he could dress up as a great big giant cock.
Well, that's kind of difficult because he already is one.
Yeah, exactly. But I just saw that, chuckled, and thought, let's spread the word even more. So
yeah.
On another note, I really want that Thor outfit.
Yes, I thought you might.
But on the other hand, I always want the Hulk outfit because I just want to go running around in that. That looks like so much fun to run around in.
Exactly. I'm trying to think which other ones were quite good.
The Magneto one's not bad.
The Magneto one's very good, actually. It's a docky-looking guy wearing it, but what the hell? It's bloody Comic-Con. What do you expect?
I was more meaning the fact you can't see much of the shirt or anything. I like the helmet, I like the gloves, and he's done a good job on the cloak piece.
Yeah.
But, anywho. Matt, is there anything you'd like to jump out at news for us?
I've got about 2, maybe 3 of them. I mean, while we're on the subject of the New York Comic Con, I suppose the ultimate thing we can bring up is the whole Unite thing, which, to be fair, we don't have an awful lot of news about, but for the most part, it seems to be a test in the waters type of thing. Although, some of the things they brought in there kind of like, ooh, especially Gem and the holograms. I'm actually deadly serious about that.
That sparked off a hell of a conversation.
Yes, it did. But it's like there's a lot of rumours going on, like, there's Turians, but they can't use the name Man. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a good chance an awful lot of this is not going to happen, and it's just there to serve, like, the whole thing. Let's throw up on the wall and see what sticks. Let's chuck a load of stuff up there. Is my connection dying?
No.
Oh,
Talking to Rob.
Ah, sorry, right. Carrying on. But it is pretty cool that there's at least some level of interest there to be bringing some of this stuff back. Because who knows what that could lead to. I'm actually quite excited about that.
Well, I think me, you and Joy discussed this in quite great depth, didn't we? What we think this could be. Especially what Primordia seems to be.
Basically inhumanoids.
Yep, that gets me excited.
Yeah, I'm excited about Mask.
Oh, hell yeah, especially since one of them seems to be a policeman, you know, the whole SWAT team, the bulletproof jacket thing. Because it makes you wonder, I mean, are they some sort of law enforcement in that universe? Or at least
Possibly.
they come from different kinds of law enforcement. But from the small little image we've seen of that so far, that is pretty sweet. I'm still a bit confused about the Action Man, because you kind of don't need it. I know that there's like a separate brand there for the Action Man, but you kind of have that already with G.I. Joe.
Well, no, because if they take it in the direction it had gone in the late 90s, then they're maybe just resurrecting Action Man like that again.
You mean like the model we had in Europe? That
Yeah.
sort of thing. Well, I can understand that.
There's that, and then they played the whole environmental angle up a lot back in the late 90s, and when he was all neon orange. And then they destroyed that and had what was it, Action Teens on Machines or whatever it is.
Awesome teams on machines.
That's the one.
I have to say, although that was kind of like one of the worst ideas ever, it was so gorgeously animated.
Yeah, very well animated. The Action Man one was as well.
I kind of want to get that entire series just so I can watch it for the animation. Because, it was beautiful. Although I never understood why the main character was Ryu.
And then there's Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah, didn't see that one coming.
Or Candyland.
As long as the Action Man is based on the early 2000s CGI series where it appears that he killed his wife and daughter, then tried to commit suicide, failed, and woke up on a beach with amnesia, I'm happy with the Action Man. Seriously, watch it. It's freaking creepy.
Yeah, it is.
Gem and the Holograms. Well, this entire thing, I've got a feeling.
Yeah.
Now, this is what
I thought you were going to say it then. I thought you were going to say it.
I've got a theory that it's a demon. A dancing demon knows something isn't right there. I've got a theory that Rob is dreaming. And we're stuck inside his wacky, worry nightmare. I've got a feeling we should work this out.
Yeah, okay, Adam. Time for your hot milk, mate.
Yay! Time to give Rob my hot milk. Anyhow, we were talking about this the other night, and the general consensus was that we think this could be a testing of the water for the hub. Because the hub needs all the help it can get.
Oh yeah. When they start farming it out to airlines, then yeah.
Yeah. I think one of the ideas we thought they might have come up with is basically like another Toonami, like what's her name? Jai is so gonna kill me. The hologram.
Synergy.
Thank you, Synergy. We think that Synergy might be like serve the role of the robot in Toonami, introduce the shows, that sort of thing.
It's possible.
Yeah. If that's the case, and it gives it its own sort of identity, then that'd be pretty cool.
The only thing that scares me about this whole Unit E idea is the fact that Andy Schmidt wrote the graphic novel, but you know.
Yeah, but he wouldn't be writing anything for TV, would he?
That's true.
Yeah.
But I quite like the idea, and don't get me wrong, I may not enjoy Andy Schmidt's work, but the guy himself seems to be really nice. But I do find it kind of amusing that the first thing that we've seen him do whilst working for Hasbro is write basically what is a fan comic for a convention. Oh, poor Mr. Schmidt.
Another theory, which may be a bit crap, could it also be that it's basically Andy Schmidt sort of fulfilling the same purpose that Stan Lee did when he briefly worked for DC, when he was doing his own interpretation of Batman, Superman, etc., etc.
I fecking hope not, because they were painful to read.
Yeah.
I love Stan Lee. The man's a legend. But no. No, just imagine Stan Lee creating was a extremely painful experience.
Yeah.
But I remember when I sat at my desk thinking about Batman, and I saw a fly crawling up a wall.
Nobody knew what a mutant was. So I made him a bat.
Nobody knew what a mutant was, so I made him gay.
I'm so glad I never knew these things existed.
Oh. They're an interesting curio, just to see, but the problem with it is that it's not Stan Lee going full tilt. If it was Stan Lee going full tilt, it probably would have been quite enjoyable.
Yeah.
But it's just Stan Lee rehashing old ideas.
So, going back to Andy Schmidt and pretty much the same idea, do you know where I'm coming from there?
I can see what you're saying. Definitely. I don't know. It all depends on how tight a leash he's on. Because, I mean, Hasbro... Will Hasbro have been looking over his shoulder for something that was done for a convention? I do not know. But I think it really is a watch this space to see if something, if anything, comes from it.
And let's hope it's Gem and the Holograms. Or Centurions. Oh, what the hell, even Candyland.
Give me Mask versus the Inhumanoids and I'm a happy man.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Venom stealing things from a bank. I don't give a shit. Have you seen what's just risen from the sea?
The evil that lies within... Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Within Miles Mayhem.
Shit! Monsters rising from the sea today.
So are you trying to say
Craft.
you're trying to say that Miles Mayhem's moustache is actually one of these Inhumanoids?
Well, what I'm saying is that Miles Mayhem's actually Cthulhu.
No,
Awesome.
He's actually wearing a bit of Inhumanoid under his nose as a trophy.
Well, no, the statue's to cover up the tentacles.
This destroys my idea that Miles Mayhem is in fact Dr. Robotnik.
Dr. Wiley.
Yeah, Dr.
No, that's his twin brother. That's Max Mayhem.
Dr. Wiley and Dr. Robotnik have teamed up to race cars. Hang on a second.
Pole position.
I'm gonna kill you now.
Oh, I downloaded all of that and I couldn't get through 2 episodes.
Oh,
That's because it's shite.
It is.
I used to love it as a kid, though.
But
No, you still have the theme tune.
Exactly. This is the thing. Is him Saban is a very, very evil man because he can make shit things look good. Purely by having a great theme tune attached to it.
yet again, I point everyone in the direction of JD's review on the Nerdsphere blog. That sums it all up beautifully.
Oh, it's me now, isn't it?
No, because I had 2 more bits of news.
All right, if you want to jump on them.
I was just going to say, obviously we've got to do the shameless plug for Rollout. We got the latest bit of news for attended guests. Now, one of them, you'll be absolutely shocked by this. Great news! It's Andrew Wildman.
Yay! I like Andrew Wildman.
He's cool, but yeah, we can leave.
Yeah, okay. But the second bit of news is kind of all right. It's Robert Atkins, who is the current IDW ongoing series and Snake Eyes series artist, who's making his first ever UK convention appearance. This was actually revealed on the What's on Joe Mind podcast and kept secret, including for myself, for about 3 weeks. Damn you, David Tree. But, you know, the muzzle's been unleashed, so now I can actually say it on here.
Now, that's the guy that's doing the artwork for the police story, isn't it? For the last story on Earth.
I wouldn't know. Somebody else would have to know that. That's all I know is that he's the current ongoing artist for G.I. Joe.
Okay, dokers.
And then finally, it's a bit of Transformers news, and completely pointless Transformers news. Power Master Prime's getting a new trailer from a third-party product.
No, he's not. It's a dream.
Moving on!
Yes, we are. We are moving on very, very quickly. The only ones I really want to bring up are there are some original G1 storyboards turned up. There we go. Big thanks to Monzo of the 2005 boards for collecting and sharing images of the recently auctioned original storyboards for Generation 1 cartoon episodes More Than Meets the Eye Parts 1 to 3. They're an interesting little curio just to see how the storyboarding for the cartoon worked. And I think that's it's one of those things that just makes me go, ooh, oh, that's cool.
I've been looking at them. Yeah, they are very cool.
Sorry, I'm just trying to sort Rob out again. Rob.
It's alright, I'm back.
Okay, good.
Is he recording his end?
Yes.
That's a bit of a personal question.
Are you recording your end?
I am recording my end.
As in your penis?
In high definition.
Cool.
So yeah, those look pretty damn cool, and I've enjoyed going through them. The other interesting thing I wanted to bring up, just as a, how do you put it? Oh yeah, a little bit of the see me trolling message way. I just wanted to bring up the in-hand images of MP11 Starscream. Because, oh look, it's another Kin Starscream.
Yeah,
yay.
Because that's what we needed.
We, actually get rid of any actual original characters for first a Optimus Prime and then a Starscream. Yay!
I'm sorry, it's one of those things where not suddenly, I felt this way for a while. I'm so glad I don't collect Masterpiece.
Yeah, me too.
It just seems to be disappointment after disappointment.
It's like you got a wealth of characters there, and you're still sticking to like the up and front ones. Megatron, Optimus Prime, Starscream. I'm actually very, very, very surprised that they haven't done a G1 Blinking Bumblebee one.
I'm incredibly surprised. That's exactly what I was going to say. I'm amazed there hasn't been a Bumblebee, or has there?
To be honest, I'm really surprised they haven't had another bash at doing Megatron, because that first Megatron was quite terrible.
In every single conceivable sense.
So if you're going to rehash a mould that they've already done, why not have another go at doing a Megatron that looked good?
G2 Megatron.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it would.
That's one of the few big neon nightmare toys that I actually like. I like G2 Megatron.
He has the voice of doom.
It's not like the same power of doom as the Armada Megatron, eh? Huh?
No, that thing's awesome.
I am Megatron.
I just love the. Do you remember the G2 Prime sound box?
Yeah.
And the sound of some poor tramp being dragged off the street and prodded into saying lines. I am Optimus Prime.
That was Peter Cullen, wasn't it?
That thing? No.
No, I was being facetious.
Well, don't. You get a rash doing that.
The tablets.
There is nothing better than hearing the genius that is and I am Optimus Prime.
That's something my favourite is.
Speaking of bad Megatron noises, has anyone ever seen the videos on YouTube for the Transformers to Kai game?
No, I saw you mention it earlier on.
Oh man, I was watching Megatron's first appearance on it. I had to watch it twice. I was in bloody hysterics.
Terrible.
He's a freaking bad Macho Man impression. It's beautiful.
Does he tell Prime that he met his father in a steel cage?
I was waiting for it.
Does he tell him how to count?
Wheel. It's just this wonderful bit where he just goes, "You Autobots are idiots. I shall take the Energon." What the hell was that noise at the end? It's not like you need to breathe.
Yeah, I did see the videos of that, and nah, it's a game full of fan wank, and that's about it.
Yeah, it was a bloody awful game. I'll tell you that much. I never got past the first level because I just turned it off and went, nope, I have better things to do.
I've got better things to do today than die.
I'm now going to just repeatedly smack myself in the face.
It's still better than playing the game.
It's still better than Transformers Decay. So, unless anyone else has got any bits of news they would like to bring up.
Yes, I do actually.
Okay.
A couple. I've got the more pictures of the Master Shooter Collectibles Target Masters.
Yes.
You know, shot piece, broomstick, mate, bottom bolt action. I'm buying these just for the names.
Yeah, they've got me sold.
The toys actually look pretty good though.
Mm-hmm.
I must admit. They are in the sort of late prototype stages now, so they don't look brilliant, but, you know, they're prototypes, they're not meant to. They still look good enough, and, come on, they put enough effort into the names for me to want to warrant to spend some money on these things.
Speaking of putting in a lot of effort, have you noticed that they're doing the YMCA pose?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did notice that.
Oh, man. Yeah, you're absolutely right. These are swiftly becoming high on my must-have list. If only for Hot Bolt.
The shot piece is my favourite.
Shot piece is broomstick.
Yeah.
No, it's Bolt Action. That's the one.
This is my broomstick.
I can just imagine Scourge saying it, though.
Well, Nicky, now Scourge has to be voiced by Bruce Campbell all the time.
Damn, you're ugly.
So you've got that. You've got a bit of shitty news with the fact that we now have prototype pictures for the Doctor Wu Unicron head.
Why?
Gummy heads bouncing here and there and everywhere. They look like the jelly that they used to use on the Masters of the Universe jelly sweets years and years ago.
Yes, they do. I was wondering why I kept licking my lips when I looked at them.
Yeah, exactly. Again, only prototype pictures, but seriously, why?
I'll be honest, when we were trolling for the news before the recording, I actually went through this, and it's like, I even the whole idea of like a third party trailer for a blinking toy that doesn't need a third party trailer is more newsworthy than this.
I don't even like the sculpt.
No.
And I feel really bad for saying that because it's it's obviously one or two guys doing something. But on the other hand, there's so many third-party bits out there now that you've got to be spectacular.
Yeah, you do. You have to do something special and interesting that hasn't been done before.
Yeah.
And these effectively have. We've got a new Unicron head in the brand new Unicron that they brought out.
The Amazon exclusive.
Yeah.
And I'm still happy with the Armada one I've got. You know, I'm perfectly happy with that toy.
I don't mind anybody making third-party stuff, but really they need to make third-party stuff that we're never going to get from Hasbro.
Yeah.
That to me is third-party. Yeah. That to me is third-party. That's their purpose.
Like a trailer for like the White Prime, you know, that sort of stuff.
Are you trolling there?
Yeah.
Oh, at least he's honest about it.
Well, we need more White Primes, obviously.
Every time there's a White Prime out, you're going to bet your bottom dollar that some third party's going to do a trailer for it now. Guaranteed.
Of course. Now, when are we going to get our Masterpiece King Bass? That's my question.
I want a Masterpiece Scooter. Masterpiece Nugget.
Please.
They can judge you in big size.
Just you wait, sir. Just you wait.
Oh, it'll happen. One last piece of news. For all those who thought that Jason Statham was going to be in Transformers 4, shock horror, he's debunked it. He said, it's not that makes me laugh about this. It's that he says, I've got a lot of stuff in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously not brains. But Michael Bay is a talented man, really. This last one just made $1 billion around the world, so people like his films. He's a talented man.
Do you know how I read this?
Don't know how to start with it. It's basically him saying, could I have a part, please?
No, I'll tell you exactly what this is. if you read between the lines on this one, what he's saying here is, yeah, I've heard of him. I've never seen a single one of his films, but I've heard they make money.
Yeah.
If he was in this film, he won't be the lead at all. He won't. He will either be a grunt or he'll be a voice, and that's a lot. That'll be it. It's not a big deal.
And besides which, Michael Bay has already said that he won't be doing the film. He's actually come out and said, he's debunked his rumours as well and said, no, I'm not going to be doing it. I have no interest in it at all.
I never believe him.
Which is quite funny, because when he was making the films, he had no interest in them either. So
yeah, no change there then. Although I quite the idea of Jason Statham being in Transformers. Can you imagine Crank being done? Yeah, the directors of Crank, and just having this completely ape-shit movie.
No, I'd like one that'd be entertaining, please.
Oh, you tell me that Crank isn't entertaining?
No, it's got Jason Statham in it. I can't stand the man. I'm sorry.
Fair enough. I'm telling you now, Crank is brilliant. I love Crank.
But,
Transporter got boring quite quickly, but I love Crank.
But yeah, apparently Jason Statham not going to be in Transformers 4.
Of course not.
Shame.
For the next one, it's just going to be nothing but porn actresses and...
Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, God.
Wasn't that Dark of the Moon?
He will be back. He will be... What, with bag of hangers?
Oh, you're going to love bag hangers.
Twice nightly whiteley and shave the base.
Mm-hmm.
I think,
and on that note.
Interestingly enough, though, before we get away from the news, did you hear about Shia LaBeouf being assaulted?
No.
Yeah. I haven't read the full story yet. You just reminded me.
Was there hankies involved?
Maybe.
Did somebody spill his Tia Maria?
Hang on a sec. Here we go. Hollywood star Shia LaBeouf attacked. Let me just... Oh my God. Shia LaBeouf lies powerless on the ground as the man repeatedly punched him.
He was a Transformers fan then.
Yeah. Oh, made it even better. I'm going to have to read the entire thing out to you, because this is beautiful. Actor Shia LaBeouf collapsed to the floor after being repeatedly punched outside a bar. The Transformers star lay helpless on the pavement during the brutal assault in Vancouver, Canada. Shocking video shows the Hollywood pinup being pummeled by punches by a shirtless attacker. After the semi-naked man made his unsteady escape from the scene, the Hollywood pinup struggled to get back on his feet. Now, before I continue, I just want to point out that I am not condoning the attack itself, because the guy isn't a very good actor, but no one really deserves to be attacked in the street, right? Mm. However, when you've got somebody writing something like his shirtless attacker and after the semi-naked man made his unsteady escape, I can't help but chuckle a little bit.
Yes.
Because the reason I've brought it up is not because of the attack, it's because of the reaction to the attack. The fact that what you got was a lot of people going, oh, he deserved it. No, I'm afraid not, no. The guy may be a bit of a prat, and he may be a fairly talentless actor, but I'll stand by my thing of no one really deserves to get attacked in the street. No,
he deserves not to ever work in Hollywood again, but he doesn't deserve not to, to be attacked in the street. He probably said something about Canadians, let's face it. I mean, to get beat up in Canada is quite a feat, I'll guarantee you.
This is true.
Because Canadians are quite nice laid-back people. You really have to piss them off for them to really smack you in the face.
Are you talking from experience here?
Pretty much.
Is Canadian baiting one of your hobbies?
Well, no, I've got family from Canada. So
right.
My great uncle and his family are all Canadian, so I do know there's only really a few things that will piss them off. If take the piss out of Canada, take the piss out of hockey, and beer. And that's pretty much it. Everything else
or actually ask them if they're American.
Yeah, that's generally, yeah. They don't like that.
When we're not recording, I'll tell you where my mind went. Because there is no way in hell I'm having that put down on anywhere where, well, people can hear. Right, well, if that's the end of the news, we've got one question for Mr. Rob.
Yes.
Mr. Rob, as the holder of the keeper of the Twitter...
Yes.
What is tonight's Twitter challenge? Because I forgot to ask you before we went into the news. Because I'm professional.
The Twitter challenge, if I remember correctly, was I've completely forgotten. How professional I am.
What were your worst toy buying experiences?
Yeah, what he said. What was your worst toy buying experience?
We're a shambles. Time.
We're a shambles. We're a shambles.
I've got an
We've got no
excuse.
idea what we're doing.
It speaks volumes when the guest hosts are the ones who knows what they're doing.
That's because I am professional.
I would just like to point out that when Adam went on hiatus for a while, me and Stu actually managed to, do the shows just by ourselves, or we had like one extra guest. When either me or Stu isn't here, Adam has to get 2 extra guests in just to fill that other person's shoes.
I also remember when you and Stu were doing shows by yourself, because I was constantly at work. My editing time went from 3 hours to 8.
Can I also point out that Stu is a larger-than-life individual when it does indeed take 2 people to replace him?
It does. So,
Are you saying he's fat?
No, I'm just saying he's a larger-than-life individual.
Are you saying he's fat?
No. I'm saying he is a larger-than-life individual who fills out an entire room.
Before we get into any legal trouble in a very real and legally binding sense, I think it's time for a quick break and some music, and we shall come back with some other stuff.
Stir, whip, whip, stir.
That's whip, whip. See you shortly. Bye-bye.
Look, man, best dope you can buy. Try it.
I don't know. Hey, here comes Jessica and the Ghostbusters.
Hey, you guys want to try some dope?
No.
No.
Thanks, Trace. When it comes to the question of drugs, friends or not, the only right answer is no.
Let's go!
Stop this evil before it's too late.
Well, did everyone enjoy those messages?
They were awesome.
Actually,
I felt all
that
special.
one about, That one about erectile dysfunction. That was really good one, Adam.
Yeah. I was surprised to hear your voice on it, actually.
Well, you know, I get around.
Kind of like Pele to me.
Well, I know, you know, the type of things I have to get into in order to, you know, fulfill a role, and you know, just some of that stuff's just not wrong, you know. That's just kind of wrong.
I do like the Pele erectile dysfunction advert though. I think it's quite amusing because it's like lots of men suffer from limp dicks. I'm not one of them, but if I was, I wouldn't be a fucking loser. Yeah. Yeah.
I like the little look in the camera he gives though when he says that. You know, when he says,
I'm not one of them. I'd do it. It never happened to me.
I do remember once seeing ex-Iron Maiden singer Blaze Bayley advertising spray-on hair.
What?
That was... Oh, I'm not kidding. That was freaking beautiful.
I remember seeing the Bee Gees singing about getting somebody his penis back that had been chopped off.
Funny enough, we're going back
I
to
just
subject.
gotta get your penis to you.
Why is it all about penis?
Oh, Lord.
Why is it all about penises tonight? We were talking about it during the commercial break.
Here's a fun game for you. Take any song you can think of that has the word dancing in it. Are you thinking of one?
Yeah.
Now replace the word dancing with wanking.
Wanking cream.
Rob, what have you got?
Wanking in the moonlight.
Awesome.
Oh, dirty wanking.
Matt? Aww. See, the first thing that came to me was wanking with tears in my eyes. But anyhow.
Is that from personal experience?
Moving on, Mr. Glenn.
Oh.
Would you like to read out some grinding of gears?
I would. Let me get the show notes there. We have first Black Convoy, who says, quick update on my last grinding of gears. One Friday I was late getting home from my work, and my brother texted and told me to get home quick. I thought something might be wrong, so I rushed home. There he was with the box. A hella big box. A magical box. He opened it and pulled out Transformers Prime. Transformers Prime. Next he pulled out SDCC Ultimate Optimus, and then he pulled out, drumroll please, SDCC Sky Striker Starscream. I almost cried. It's a thing of beauty. He'd been able to get them from Hasbro Toy Shop the morning I was having trouble. I did not even think he knew about the SDCC toys. I repaid him for the toys, but he only charged me cost. I'm very grateful to have a brother like him.
You're a lucky man, sir.
That is a really nice story.
It is.
Well, it's not really a grinding of gears, but as it was an update to the last one that he did, I thought it'd be nice to read it out.
You did always say with the grinding of gears, it didn't always have to be something bad. You could just shout out about something good.
Yeah. I like to hear about good things. I like to hear things go right.
I almost feel it should have had the Our Song music.
And when I looked down, I realised there weren't raisins. It was a bowl full of sheep poo.
And when I looked down, everyone was dead.
I looked down and realised that she wasn't a woman, she was a man. So I said, stop sucking that or I shall summon a policeman.
Could have been
When
worse.
you said that, all I had going through my head was the third secret song from... third surprise song from the Axis of Awesome album.
And I'd like to play as a dedication, Wanking with Tears in My Eyes.
Oh, what a feeling, wanking on the
King on the ceiling.
even by our... This is explicit. Speaking of toys, Mr. Rob.
Yes.
It's time. It's time for you to read out the Twitter.
I don't think that's a good idea, to be honest.
No, it isn't. I've just realised. So, I will jump over to Timey. Do you want to read out the Twitter challenge?
I would, but I haven't been on Twitter at all. Yay!
So I'll do it then.
I will find the nearest old all-house thing.
You're all right. You're all right. I've got it in front of me now. Well, I say I've got it in front of me now. I've got it loading in front of me now, which is just the way it goes. So, moving all the way down, we shall start with... I like the fact the first thing I read there was the words, massive wanker. That's interesting.
Just going back to a previous argument, it could have been worse. When you look down, it could have been a sheep.
Stop sucking that, or I shall summon a policeman. We begin with Jai D, who says, back when I was still interested in buying Transformers, I decided to visit a Toys R Us, which is a train ride into town and a 10-minute walk away. Whilst walking through a decidedly dodgy area, I walked past two guys having an argument in the doorway of a seedy-looking bar. Having braved the trek and came back with nothing, I returned the way I came to find one of them in a bloodied heap in the doorway, and an ambulance crew on hand. Glasgow's miles. Better.
Yeah.
I've actually been to Glasgow.
It's a nice place.
It is, but at 3 o'clock in the morning in a pizza spot which is being run by a guy who is convinced he is the reincarnation of Julius Caesar, and having a guy next to me who is wearing vampire teeth, kind of worries me.
That's almost a Gaffer Rengi type story.
It's completely true. We didn't get a hotel. Went to see Tattoo the Planet, didn't bother getting a hotel, went to sit in a pizza hut till 6 in the morning, which was the first train back to Carlisle. No, 5 in the morning. 5 in the morning, yeah.
And you couldn't get out of there quick enough.
Really couldn't. We were very tired, and the poor woman forgot to bring her insulin.
Oh dear.
That was a fucking scary time. Anyhow,
I've
Stardubbing.
actually found it. I've actually found Stardubbing's one.
Ah, brilliant. Do you want to go for it?
I'll go for it. I'll go for both of them if you don't mind, because one of them he's aimed obviously at the three of us for our recording that we cannot mention on this recording. Anyway, Stardubbing continues to say, somewhere in a forest, a bear is dancing to the oracle that is Vanilla Ice. Ice, ice, baby, it sings with glee joy. What the hell has this got to do with anything?
Welcome to Ralph.
Welcome to Ralph's world.
He then goes on to say, toys? There are no toys. There is only Zardos. The gun is good. The penis is evil. Zardos, 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 Zardos. Oh, Ralph. Oh.
So, in answer to what bad toy stories does he have, the answer is the penis is evil.
I want to. What kind of disturbed mind would actually go around on Twitter and open social networking site and continue to say the penis is evil?
Ralph.
Yes.
It's why we love Ralph. Ralph says the things that we don't want to think about.
Apparently, Sean Connery's penis is the only thing that can defeat Nugget as well.
No. Nothing can defeat Nugget. Nugget is the root of all destruction.
And then to continue Ralph's strange mental breakdown, he then goes, sing along! We're off to Button
Moon.
We'll
follow
Mr. Spoon. Button Moon.
Button Moon.
Be
back soon.
Button Moon. Peter Davison's awesome.
Yes, he is. Dark Ages continues with, I've not had many bad experiences, just bad toys. Read into that what you will.
That you had bad toys.
Well, I know he owns a Supreme Cheetor.
Nothing wrong with Supreme Cheetor.
What?
It's a good toy.
What?
Kind of.
It's a good toy in the way that burning.
It reminds me of a blinking Resident Evil blinking monster, that thing. Or Silent Hill.
It's not that bad, surely.
Well, when you hang it up at a certain thing, it does kind of look like a dodgy rubber chicken.
It looks like the last chicken in the shop is what it looks like.
Ah, the last chicken in the shop, look.
Yes, a scrotum. It looks like a scrotum. And next up we have Jetfire 2009, who says, went to my first Comic-Con and paid $50 for a lug nut I found at Walmart. A week later, $17. Slap in the face. That's unfortunate.
Just about.
I think we've all been there. We've all done that.
Well, we could have pretty much nearly all done that at Auto Assembly this year with Masterpiece Rodimus.
Very true. I mean, one of our established members did actually buy a Masterpiece Rodimus. Just not at AA. I mean, how much were they going for? Was it 60 quid?
60 quid in Toys R Us.
Mm-hmm.
And 80 at Auto Assembly.
That's right. That's a hell of a markup, like, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's a quarter markup.
Mm-hmm. It's like somebody didn't think that one through.
I think they thought it through. I just think they were relying on sort of con impulse buying, you know, without thinking that, you know, we did actually have self-control. I don't know anybody who actually did buy a Masterpiece Rodimus.
No, actually.
I didn't. I waited until I came back.
In all honesty, no, I don't think I heard of anyone buying a Masterpiece Rodimus.
No. Not of our little groups, anyway.
No.
There's a few people who bought the one with the trailer, the £200 one, but nobody bought the Hasbro one.
Yeah. You mean the unintentional panel former?
I've not played with it. All I know is it breaks when you look at it.
Yeah, or breathe on it, or do anything near it, or push an atom anywhere near it.
At this year's roll call, Chief actually came in on the Sunday. He umminated and he actually then bought the Takara Rodimus. He brought it to the pub and then broke it open, and he was messing around with it. He offered it to all people. He offered it to me to play with. Me!
Did you pick up a hammer and go, okay then?
I know! I mean, the amount of money he spent on that thing, I was not going to be the guy that, oh god, this bit's just broke off.
No, it's not fun being that guy. I'm sorry, Rob. I'm sorry.
As I say, it's fine. If you'd broken something else, I would have been upset, but I was never actually going to use the snail.
Yes, whoops. Moving on, Cassius335 says, the only thing that springs to mind is that I could have had a complete Superion if I hadn't broken Silverbolt. Although that wouldn't have been me paying. The good old days of being a kid when your parents bought you stuff. Yes, I agree. I miss the days when I didn't have to buy my toys.
Yep.
Unfortunately, there is the downside of that, which is you're not entirely sure which toy you're going to get, if they're going to get you the right one or not.
Yeah, plus you probably would only get toys 2 or 3 times a year.
Very true.
My parents actually, one Christmas, they actually hit the mother load and they bought me, and I still kick myself to this day that I lost it, in box, a complete Menasor G1. The whole box set version. I had that for like 3 years and I got rid of it because, of course, I grew out of Transformers.
In fact, as that's the last Twitter challenge tonight. Oh, Timey, what have you done? What have you done? Before I ask you your answers on these ones, I will just quickly say, what is your best Christmas present that you've got? Your best toy-based Christmas present?
Oh, I got spoiled rotten as a kid.
You son of a bitch.
I still think the Menasor was the best Transformers one I had, but my happiest one was basically when I got my first Transformer, which was Powerglide. That was my first one, and I was extremely happy about that. That's my earliest and happiest memory. Other than that, it's just, for me, strange as it is, I got more enjoyment watching the stuff on the TV as a kid. So, you know, just sitting there watching like the Star Wars, which is something I would never do now. The Star Wars, the Indiana Jones, all the Christmas programs. Hell, I watched Morecambe and bloody Wise when I was a kid. So,
damn right you did.
So yeah, I got more enjoyment with that because, you know, you get your Christmas presents and then you play them to death and then that's about it. But my memories is mostly eating and TV. I really did enjoy that sort of family thing.
Glenn, do you want to jump in with an answer for that one?
Yep, 1987 Christmas. I got my very first computer.
Ooh.
Spectrum 128K ZX.
Nice.
Tape player.
Oh, yeah, that was... Oh, I missed that sound.
My very first computer ever that I got, and I played it till it broke. I actually had that thing till about 1995.
My dad
Nice.
really, really tech savvy. He had to have like the latest thing. So he was like one of the first to get Pong. He was one of the first to get the Atari 2600, and he was the first to get the Sinclair. So, but he would then hide it away, so we'd never know he actually had this stuff until one day when I found it in the closet. So he'd wait for us to go to bed, and then he'd be playing on these video games. So yeah, so
Son of a bitch.
I know. So the Spectrum 20, the Spectrum ZX, the 128 one, that was our first computer as well. But
It was awesome. It was a great computer. I mean, it was rubbish, really, when you think about it. But at the time, I was really impressed with it. I loved that thing.
when we eventually got our Atari ST, though, I was like, oh, because that was like the zenith of technology back in the day, you know. But my favourite video game on that was the Roadrunner, video game, where you're being chased by a wily coyote.
You see, I loved my Commodore 64, but weirdly enough, I went from a Commodore 64 to a Mega Drive.
Yeah.
So just imagine what my little brain did when I got my Mega Drive and just went, oh my god, this can't get any better.
Yeah, it did.
Shut up, you. Yeah, it did actually. The Dreamcast came out.
Exactly. And that was it. There's been no more consoles since then.
No, every console after that has just been a toaster.
Exactly. An in-toaster.
Indeed. I love the in-toaster.
I want
Rob,
an in-toaster.
Rob,
Yep.
either bring me an in-toaster or answer the Christmas question.
I
The correct answer is, I'll bring you an in-toaster.
will not bring you an in-toaster.
Son of a bitch.
I'll see what I can do about a Sega toaster.
Sega! It's got to say Sega as it pops the bread.
It does. And you get either the Sega symbol on your bread or Sonic.
Oh.
Sadly, the toaster will become obsolete quite quickly because of a lack of bread. But yeah, compatible with it.
Can I just go back on the Christmas thing? Another thing that I really dig is when I got VHS videotapes, because I had Dino Riders, I had the Mighty Four, I got introduced to so many different things with VHSs, and a weird Mexican dubbed anime mecha thing as well that I played to death until the tape snapped. Oh, and Action Force the movie.
Well, just going on about that, one of the best presents I ever got previous to the computer was I got a Bush Walkman from my Auntie Pam. And with that, loads of them audio tapes, them audio book tapes that we were talking about the other week on Back to the 80s. That's where I got the Transformers ones first. Pretty awesome.
Yeah. Like I said, I was a pretty spoilt, rotten kid when I was growing up. And
We're noticing that.
Yeah.
One of the... That's how That's... Well, a couple of times...
I want my gift back.
A couple of times when I've come home from school and I've actually had a Ladybird book on card waiting for me on my bed.
Making it worse.
You see me and you here, Matt. We're not friends anymore. We're not.
See, auto assembly. It's a good job we're not going to be on that bloody balcony because you'd be going over it.
You see, auto assembly. I'm going to give Kai hammers.
I can't help my spoiled kid upbringing. I'm sorry.
Oh, you can. That's right.
You could have turned around and said, there are other people who have less than me. You could always give them these toys.
To be
like
fair,
in the north.
To be fair, Stafford Walden was a very rural area in Essex. You know, I can't really, you know, I can't begrudge that. You know, I can't.
Rural area. Once you married to Dennis Waterman.
Hey, to be fair, from there we moved to Wales. You know, you can't get more rural than that.
You can. There's the Sahara.
Well, I want to say the Sahara. It's not rural.
Is there anybody?
There's not many farmers in the Sahara.
There is. There's more farmers than you'd think.
Luke Skywalker's family doesn't count.
They do.
And if anybody wants to write any hate mail to Time Lord, the spoilt little rich kid, just go onto the nerdsphere.madmooseforum.com, I need to call it org, and you just submit stuff there, because then that way the forum is busy.
And mark your mail, little lord, formful bastard.
Well, I'm just going to add a section in that wasn't going to be there a second ago, but we're going to come to that in a moment.
Oh, come on, we're in the section where we had the I blame Matt Fred. You know, it's like water off a duck's back to me.
Oh, no. Don't you worry. Rob, did you answer the Christmas question before we move on to the actual Twitter question?
No, I didn't. I think we've done this before on the show, but I think my best one was actually getting Jetfire one Christmas, because I just remember it was my sister who got us it. And it was like a bigger box than anything my parents got me. I just remember ripping the paper off, and it was this awesome jet. It was before I even knew who Jetfire was, because I hadn't seen the cartoon episode or anything. And I just loved that toy. I played with it until it broke, and then I played with it some more.
And then the love affair was born.
It was all through an awesome toy.
And now you've seen every single Jetfire there is, and you want them all. I'm
Not
sorry.
quite all of them.
I'm sorry for showing you that list.
It's alright, it wasn't as bad as the Hot Rod one.
Go on, buy every Hot Rod.
No!
Go on.
Hey, I've got a spare G1 hot rod kicking around if you want to buy it off me.
Go on. You see, in Japan, the Yamada Hotshot figure was known as Hot Rod. And he came out in red with flames.
Yeah.
So that's a legitimate Hot Rod.
Did you not want to send that G1 Hot Rod as a present for the little baby? And I'd keep it on the shelf until she was old enough for it.
Oh, yeah.
43.
Yeah.
You can pry this Hot Rod from my cold, dead fingers. I like the idea of lying on a deathbed. Grasping this Hot Rod.
I'm going to be buried with it, you bastard.
My two G1 hot rods are currently mounted on the shelf above my monitor, one on top of the other.
So the word mounted is really quite apt.
Yep.
That's quite horrific.
Myself, I'm just going to quickly say the one I've always said, Metroplex. And it's not because it was Metroplex as much as I wanted the Metroplex, it's the story that goes with it, which I think I've gone through a couple of times before, so I won't bother doing it again. But to this, that was me knocking my knee. But to this day, it is possibly the best Christmas I've ever had. As for the Twitter challenge, has anyone got any bad toy buying stories?
I've got the first date of me and the now Mrs. Rogmus. It wasn't necessarily a bad toy buying. It was just the fact that I had no money whatsoever. I was out of work and completely broke, and I says to her, "Don't let me buy any toys or anything." And she spent the entire time we were in the toy shop going, "Go on, buy Nightcrawler, buy Nightcrawler, buy Nightcrawler, buy Nightcrawler, buy Nightcrawler." Needless to say, I caved.
I love the idea that your first date with your now wife was in a toy shop.
Yeah, well, it was just, we met up, we went for a walk, and we ended up in a toy shop.
Fair dues, yeah, fair dues. Glenn, do you have any terrible stories of when you were buying toys?
Not a terrible story of buying toys, just why the fuck did I buy 4 Scourges?
Because it's awesome.
Why? Why did I do that? Why did I do that and then proceed to be proud about it?
Because
Adam's
awesome.
troop building gene rubbed off on you.
Hey,
No.
if you really want to have one stand out amongst the others, they're doing a third-party kit of a shield and a sword for him now, you know?
Yeah,
Just
not really interested in that.
that.
But, why did I buy fucking Skystalkers?
Because they're awesome.
Yeah, but 3 of them.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to start an army of nuggets. I've
Good luck.
one.
Good luck with that.
I've been to eBay. Good luck in finding any others.
No,
I'm getting one off of somebody for a £5. He's very, very beat up, but I'm getting a nugget.
I found a nugget and a slime stone for £3. Oh yes, I'm looking forward to getting them.
I wonder if there'll be £3 by this time next year.
Nope.
Nope.
Matt, do you have any crazy stories of buying stuff? It doesn't involve shouting, why did I buy 4 scourges?
No. I've got a story, and people's names will obviously be deleted from this. It's not for me buying stuff. It's me buying stuff for other people.
Right.
And basically, I got chatting with this guy on the forum, and he doesn't live that far from me. Anyway, it was one of the most bizarre experiences in my life. I went and bought a Generations Galvatron and a Generations Ironhide back when they were on clearance, so about something like £6 each.
That's still too much.
He couldn't decide whether he wanted the Galvatron or the Ironhide, so I bought both. Eventually went to his place, and I met his dad. And it was a weird communication thing where he was talking to me at the front door, his mum was in the room, no sign of him. He still didn't actually outright say what he wanted. So he said, right, okay. Then you could hear this voice from the living room going, expletive voice here! Oh, I've got to put that instead of his name. Unknown transforming robot, whatever. Do you want the Galvatron or the Ironhide? And then you could just hear thudding. And then she goes, he wants the Ironhide. Oh, he wants the Ironhide then. Okay, right. So we give him the Ironhide. He whips out a £20 note. They're £6 each. Oh, so how much is it? I says I was actually honest. And I said, well, £6 each. Oh, I don't have any change. So then you hear the voice going, he hasn't got any change. Fud, fud, fud. He'll pay you on eBay. He'll pay you on PayPal. Okay. Right, alright, okay. So we drive off back to my in-laws. I see a PM waiting for me. I'm so sorry I wasn't in the house. I really wanted to meet you.
Okay.
That's about it. But it was so glad he was in there. Because it was like, he was talking to her, she was talking to disjointed thudding in the foreground, then coming back to me. But apparently he wasn't in the house.
That's quite peculiar.
Yeah.
Scary, in fact.
So yeah, that was one of the weirdest experiences.
I've got nothing to say to that, actually. I've got no kind of response.
Can't really top it, can you?
No. I think you destroyed my story completely.
Well, what was your story?
I was in the local Asda. Not that long ago. It was during the time when Universe was doing its rounds. So I was in Asda, and there was two women and a small boy, right? And they were looking at stuff, and the boy goes, "No, I want that one." And the mother goes, "No, you've got that one." He went, "No, I've got the Bumblebee. It was Cliff Jumper. That's Cliff Jumper. No, you've got that one." "No, I don't. I've got the Bumblebee. That's Cliff Jumper." And this kid just turns to me, looks up and goes, Tell her that Cliff Jumper's different to Bumblebee." And I just went, he is, you know. Cliff Jumper's a completely different character. And the mother looked at me as if to go, "Get away from my child." Just get away from my child. As this kid's having a great time, he's just like, how do you know? It's like, well, you know, something, I like Transformers.
I'm a wizard.
I wish I thought of something like that. But the kid wouldn't go. This is the worst bit. The mother was calling him over. Yes, come on, whatever his name was. "Come on, let's get away." And he'd just look at it, then look back to me and say, "Do you like Megatron?" It's like, He's alright. Not as good as Galvatron. That's the car, isn't it? What car? And I realised he was actually talking about Cybertron.
Right.
But the mother was just looking at me with this look of, just get the hell away from my child before I get a policeman.
Wow.
So it was like, I was just trying to sort of get out of the conversation, but the kid was following me up the aisle, talking to me, and the mother was like calling him over, and I was like, this is not a position I want to be in, is it? She's obviously some crazy ass mother. So I went and bought myself a chicken.
A whole chicken.
A whole chicken, which I then took home, roasted, and ate. It was very nice. So yeah, that's my story. Right, so finally we'll move on to the last segment of the show. But before we do, everyone quickly blame Matt for something.
You're rich. I hate that.
I blame Matt for my lack of very, very good Transformers toys as a child, because you bought them all, you bastard.
I blame Matt for the fact that my baby does toxic poops.
Funny enough, that's what Rob posted on the I Blame Matt thing. Why do people blame me for their children's shit?
Because it's your fault.
I can list exactly what I had as a kid. I had a Target Master, a Paraglide, the complete team of Stunticons, and...
Did anyone else have the complete Stunticon team?
No.
Nope. Not me neither.
Inbox!
You heartless bastard.
You twat.
There are thousands of starving children in the world. Name 3.
From the sound of it, Jane, Adam and Rob.
I was going to say, me, you and Rob, Adam.
That's true. I'm so hungry. I'm withering.
Hungry.
Those Ladybird books kept me warm at night.
I had to eat mine.
You're lucky you could eat. When I were a lad, I didn't have a face.
You're lucky. When I was a kid, my dad ate my face.
You're lucky. When I were a kid, my dad was made out of snow and melted every summer.
You're lucky. When I were a kid, my dad was made out of sulfuric acid, and whenever he slapped me, my face melted off.
You're lucky. You got slapped. I never felt the cold embrace of any kind of touch.
My sister was just as bad. She had Rainbow Bright, she had the My Little Ponies, she had the Glowworms.
You're not fucking friends here. Seriously, man.
I wish I could have had friends when I were a kid.
You know, I turned down that contract on you, Adam.
Yes.
If somebody happens to put a contract out on Matt, I may have to actually take that one up.
I've got 50p and ice cream.
Is it a Cornetto?
It is.
What flavour?
Strawberry.
I don't like strawberries.
God damn it. Foiled at the last hurdle.
I'll do it. I'll do it for free.
No, here, take the strawberry. Take the strawberry.
Not so much a hate as murder.
Everybody's got a price. Everybody's gonna pay. 'Cause the $1 Million Man always gets his way. Money, 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 money. Some might cost a little. Some might cost a lot. But I'm the $1 Million Man. And you will be bought. Money,
Excitement abounds. I almost can't wait. Relax, I don't want your baby. I already ate. Though I do tend to generally kill things that don't fight back. I see this village, what does it hold? What shall I butcher them with, fire or cold? Running from me, sure you'd think he's a pathological, bloodthirsty, homicidal maniac. I'd kill kittens and puppies and bunnies. I'd maim toddlers and teens and then more. You see a wife, I see a widow. But what then? Can't you see? I'd kill for. I want to incinerate and decapitate. I want to melt some faces. Watching the peasants, what do they call it? Grieve. I suppose that being undead, there's not much to life. A soul is needed for loving, feeling. How does this all not make me... what's that word again? Heave. You've nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. Your village will burn like the heart of the sun with infinite glee. It's going to be me that slaughters the world. How could I glare into these eyes and then not stab them? How could I stare at their loss and then not laugh? I'd cut him in half. Then I'd graft his head back onto his shoulders. Or after I'd plop it, I'd make a puppet on top of a stove. I am a lord that is sometimes bored. Have some urges and need to fulfill them. After my mayhem, I simply don't, what's the word? Care. The stench in the air, the smell of the gore, the carnage far greater than any war. My legacy. Death becomes me. I'll slaughter the
Moving swiftly on before anything that we say can be used in a court of law.
Yeah.
You know, it's taken me 2 years to be on an old oil house lock-in, and you know what? You know, I'm being besmirched here. Besmirched.
You're being besmirched. This isn't slander, it's the honest truth. It's not like we're making shit up at you, is it?
Those Thomas the Tank Engine books were awesome as well.
I will knife you, sir.
I'll fucking end you.
I will tear off your arms, sharpen the pointy bits, and stab you through the eyes with your own arms. Oh, tear off your arms, put them where your legs were. Tear off your legs, put them where your arms were. Make you dance for my amusement on your brand new leggy arms.
And then piss in the eye sockets.
I will set you on fire, sir, and then shit on you to put you out.
We had the Rafa Khan on Betamax as well.
Speaking of Rafa Khan, the only thing I can say you know is Matt!
Have the fucking Wrath of Grufflock in a minute.
Let's move on before my connection dies.
Wanker!
And that's Betamax, children. Look it up. Google it. It was awesome back in the day.
It was better than VHS.
It was.
Yeah.
Moving on to the answer machine. Swiftly as I can before I stab Matt in the face with his own knees. Fucking cock. Anyhow, I'll take the first one. Tricky asks, hey guys, questions 2 this week. Q1. What happened to all the unwanted toys? There were loads of fallbacks and mindsets unwanted on the shelves. Then, one day, they all vanished. They stepped inside the quantum leap accelerator. What happened,
Adam?
And you can find me on my Tumblr, known as Quantum Bastard.
You cock. What happens to these toys? And how do they turn up in discount stores? Who wants to take it first?
Well, they basically get pulled off the shelves in a very undignified manner, stamped on, kicked around, thrown into a big bin bag, and then the buying team from these discount stores are pretty much going through the dumpsters of all these mega stores and basically find what they can and think, packaging doesn't look too bad, yeah, we'll stick a couple of quid price tag on that and sell it.
The discount store staff go around the shops, buy them all for bulk, and then sell them on.
Yeah. I'm going to go for the answer of Timey goes around, buys them all, and builds houses out of them just so he can sit there going, look at all my toys!
It's not a house, it's a throne.
They're thrown out of fallbacks.
He makes a suit out of all the cardboard boxes.
He makes a suit out of the Ladybird books.
It's actually not that far from the truth. I'll put my webcam on later and show you what I'm actually sitting amongst.
The souls of children?
I'm hoping it's dead hookers. I really am.
At Christmas, do you invite a homeless person in just so he can watch you eat?
No, yeah, it's like Harry and Paul. He has a Geordie for a pet.
I like the idea of you sticking your head out of a window. You there, boy. What day is it? It's Christmas Day, sir. Yes, it is. Look at all my presents.
Here's a shiny penny, which I'm not going to give you.
Tomorrow I'm going to go out so I can kick puppies.
I reckon Timmy is he's like Ray Fiennes in Schindler's List. He's like children from his bedroom window.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to just stand them in a row and then just shoot across them and see how many I get in a row.
I think the sniper idea is better.
You there, boy. What day is it? Christmas Day. Yes, it is. Start running.
Start running and singing Three Ships Sailed In.
I do believe my good character on the Nerdsphere is about to get a heel turn really quickly with this show.
Oh, Matt, don't worry about that. You never had a good character.
Oh, thank God for that. I can sigh a big sigh of relief there.
We're all Bob Cratchit apart from Timey on the Nerdsphere. That's why they call you Uncle Timey. It's not because we like you, it's because you look like a fucking Scottish duck.
I was going to say, a mafia don.
A mafia don.
I see that you've been buying Seacons there. Now, I do believe that you owe me oxygen task. You will be given Seacons.
Come to me with Seacons on the day of my daughter's wedding. Asking for a favour. I'd like some more toys, please. Denied.
Now I shall sit back in my throne of fallbacks with my lovely suit made of Ladybird books. And I shall laugh at you as you drag your crappy Poundland toys away. Question 2 from Timey. From Tricky. For God's sakes.
Why does everybody hate me?
Don't hate you.
I'm gonna go and rage quit on you all now.
It's alright, you're not Phil. Anyway,
how dare you?
Even
though that is technically true, you know.
Well, there hasn't been a single Phil joke in the entire show, so I thought I'd better get one in there. Right, question 2. After watching the season finale of Transformers Prime, it seems to me that Laserbeak's a minicon. Do you agree? And if so, does this make him a power core combiner?
If he ain't, he is now.
No comment.
Don't you love power core combiners?
I like power core combiners.
So is he a power core combiner?
No.
No, he's not.
He's a rage turkey.
No, that's movie one. It's movie Laserbeak.
He's a rage turkey in every single continuity now.
He's a Batwing.
He's Buzzsaw's lamer brother. I think we should have the Buzzsaw show.
It's the Buzzsaw Show.
Of course, if we do that, we have to have the inevitable spin-off, Buzzsaw Babies. Buzzsaw Babies.
Of course, there'd have to be the new Adventures of Buzzsaw where he goes into space.
Yeah.
Oh, I've just finished the other line for that. They're coming after you.
Dr. Buzzsaw.
It's good, but it's no Dr. Ball, MD.
Yeah, that's true. There's no Dr. Stew.
Very true.
And then the family-based one, the Buzzsaws.
At home with the Buzzsaws.
Yeah. Real Buzzsaws of Jersey. Buzzsaw Shaw.
No. No, that's taking it too far now. I don't want to see Buzzsaws covered in orange oil.
Oh, I do. That'd be awesome.
I think it's just a precursor to a whole new breast force coming along in the second season.
Don't say things like that. I'll only get excited.
Yes, he will, and then disappointed when it doesn't happen.
It's always fun watching him cry tears of disappointment.
Well, no, that's just because that's how you maintain your sustenance.
Yes, I live off the Adam's tears of disappointment.
Can I just say, Breast Force, the only force in the Decepticon army who aren't afraid to wear bras.
I disagree.
I think they're extremely afraid.
I don't know why. I'm just disagreeing and then trying to invent wildly.
But they're bras that transform into animals.
Armada thrust. Armada thrust when no one was watching had full lingerie.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
See, I always thought he dressed up in a squirrel suit.
I always thought he used to throw himself at a dartboard and say 180, personally, but...
That would be...
He was the thing that killed Ming at the end of Flash Gordon.
Armada thrust is Tony Green.
Yes.
Does that make Megatron Jim Bowen?
Yes!
Now.
No,
You've got your minicons. They're safe.
No, I was going to say that's more for Shockwave.
The Bendy Leader 1.
You can't,
Bendy Leader 1.
You can't beat a bit of bully.
Well, he has got a bullseye.
Oh.
Boom!
Moving on. Who wants to take Jai-D's question?
Me.
No, you're taking the next question.
Why?
Because it's from you.
Oh, shit.
I'll take JD.
Okay.
Because I have a lot of making up to do with JD, because I keep flagging off Battlefly Galactica. I'm sorry, mate. I'm so sorry. But I don't like any other TV shows ever, because I'm a miserable bastard.
He says, 5?
No.
Then you must end.
I like Deep Space Nine.
Problem 5 was better.
No, it wasn't.
We're not going to get into this argument. I thought they were both good.
Babylon 5 didn't have Ailyn Garrick.
This is true, but it did have Marcus.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Well, I was going to say it didn't have Jakar. So.
Yeah.
Jakar's awesome. But then again, he was Commander Tovalak. So.
Ando Malari.
Not a bad impression.
I like it.
Well, Ronald Malari, who was the first guy that Jeff Bridges killed in Tron.
Yes, he was.
That's just bizarre, isn't it?
It is.
Before you continue, actually, I just want to point out, I've finally got around to watching Babylon 5, The Lost Tales. Oh dear.
It's shit, isn't it?
Do you know what the worst thing about it is? That opener is beautiful.
There's a lot about The Lost Tales that is actually pretty good. Unfortunately, it's backed up by a lot of shit.
It is, and there's only 2 people on the soundstage at any given point.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
But the intro bit, the music and Jakar talking, they've just taken one of Jakar's speeches and put music to it, and it is beautiful.
It is good. And also what annoys me is those 2 storylines, for the most part, shouldn't really need to be told.
No, because they're pointless.
It was an attempt by J. Michael Straczynski to try and build upon a story that has already been told. He's trying to do a Lucas, and it failed.
Yeah.
Mind
Much
you,
like
Lucas doing a Lucas is kind of failing, but that's just my opinion.
Sorry, do you want to carry on then, Glenn?
We shall. Jive says, question 1. Do you know what evil lurks in the hearts of men?
Yes. Timing.
No, you don't know, because the Shadow knows. Only the Shadow knows. Have you not seen the film? Come on.
It's pretty dark in this room.
That's the evil lurking in the hearts of men.
That's the evil lurking in the house of Timey.
I want to know what evil lurks in the farts of Neve.
Rob, only you can answer that question.
I'm saying nothing.
Inhumanoid, pooping your pants within.
Yes, baby poo. Always fun.
Me, mostly.
Question 2 is, Toshiki Inoue is dead, murdered by all accounts in the most inventive and humorous manner. The authorities know not who the culprit is, but a new writer must be found for the next Kamen Rider crossover movie war. For some godforsaken reason, Toei has decided that three of you are to write it. The movie will be comprised of 3 parts. One of you will write the first part, which will focus on one rider, another the second part on another, and the third, the eventual crossover where both riders join up for the big finale. Unlike the movie crossovers, I've not finished, you are not limited to using the current Plus series previous rider series, but may pull from any rider series you desire. Your mission is to make a crossover movie that is better than the innocent, destroyingly bad Kamen Rider X Kamen Rider movie Warcore, which you can find a commentary track for here. Feel free to refer to it for reference material as what not to do.
Shameless plug. You can check the Shut Up and Watch This on Movie Core on the Nerdsphere Network. That's the Nerdsphere Network, where this very show is hailing from.
Hi.
So, in addition to stealing toys, you're also plugging the shit out of everything you've ever done.
Yes!
You're pure fucking evil, aren't you?
Yes! You know what I did yesterday? I went
Killed a kid?
No, I kicked a puppy first. But...
Did you crush a puppy, like Wilder?
No, I introduced Pio to the wonder that is Shin Kamen Rider.
Hey, that film's awesome.
Yeah, I introduced it.
Terrible movie, but it's freaking awesome.
You know,
I thought you were going to say you murdered Pinkie Pie, because I'm sorry, I would kill you for that.
I would murder Pinkie Pie.
No, you wouldn't. Pinkie Pie's awesome.
I didn't murder Pinkie Pie.
I would quite happily snipe her every pony I saw.
I murdered Rainbow Dash. Sorry. Rainbow.
Would you murder Mark Kick? Huh?
Yes.
Oh!
See, all I'm thinking of now is the line from Fletch Lives. What are you in here for? Molest the dead horse. No, I'm trying to cut down myself. So, as there's 4 of us, I shall allow you 3 to fight over how to make a Kamen Rider crossover film. However, I will say that one of the riders must be Masked Rider for the Saban series.
Oh, well, that's made it easy for me, then. That's made it really fucking easy for me. It's the 3 deaths of Prince Dex. It's that simple.
No, you do basically what they did to not Godzilla in the Godzilla movie.
I thought you were going to say Slain. So it would be Death of the Water, Death of the Earth, and Death of the Air.
In one of the scenarios, Prince Dex must be raped by Ferbus.
No, he must be raped with Ferbus.
By Jai.
No, not by Jai, by Captain Rapebeard.
Indeed. Jai knows not what he is doing, for the beard controls all.
And for some reason, Jai has to be dressed in a pirate suit.
Of course.
Because he's a shocker grunt. He's a shocker blinking leader, so, you know, he has to dress in some weird
Oh my God, can you imagine it? Captain Rapebeard is a Kamen Rider Paddy. No, it would have to be a Sentai Paddy. So he has the first death and then returns, but larger.
And because each of these villains have to have like a monster mode before they get defeated, Jai will twirl around and become a haggis.
No, he just becomes an even larger beard and hat.
Yes, that's all there is, just the beard and the hat.
Just in the middle of it, there's Jai floating around inside the hair going, "Help me!"
So he basically turns into Cousin It with a pirate hat?
I Rapebeard, grow!
Grow, Rapebeard, grow, as he's rubbing it.
Go, Rapebeard, grow.
Very, very scary conversation.
Grow, power, Rapebeard. Madam Muffin Killer, Rapebeard. Anyhow.
I'm the rape leader. Rape.
So,
Yeah.
Rob, do you want to jump in with an answer?
Because he's my favourite rider so far.
Jetfire.
Yeah, I would have Jetfire come in. No, I'd have Kamen Rider Skull come in, ask Prince Dex to count up his sins, and then kick the living shit out of him.
And then I'd say, just for the shits and giggles, bring in Black RX and have him beat the shit out of him for basically trying to hench into Minami Kotaro before he henched into, Masked Rider. Because he totally did. Have you seen that footage?
No?
Oh man, you should watch the Masked Rider and get to the scenes. Every time Dex is actually fighting the baddie, it's not him. It's footage of the actor who played the Kamen Rider in the show. It was the actor who played Minami Kotaro. And it so blatantly is because the camera's right on his fucking face.
No way, I've never noticed that.
So he actually henshins into a Japanese man who then henshins into Masked Rider.
I want that power. I want to become a Japanese man at will.
Yeah. Kamen Rider Japanese man.
That'd be awesome.
A Japanese man who now owns a steakhouse.
Yeah, man. That's seriously, that's the greatest thing in the world.
That's living the dream.
It really is.
A Japanese man owning a steakhouse.
Would it be annoying to say that I want it to be the Kamen Rider X Kamen Rider movie Warcore, but with added Prince Dex?
I want it to be the Amazon movie. Amazon.
Oh, dear Lord.
No, I've got it, right? It starts off, and it's an episode of O's, right? And then the next bit is an episode of O's. And then the third part is more O's, but it's O's from the future and O's from the past or present, teaming up to fight, I don't know, who's shit. Oh, no, just for sheer trolling reasons, Skull. And they kick the shit out of Skull.
And then Japanese Spider-Man turns up.
Yes! That's my answer! O's and Japanese Spider-Man.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yes,
because Japanese Spider-Man rules.
Yes, and then Robocop comes in and tries to sell everyone noodles.
With Joey Tribbiani in his lipstick.
Yes! That's my answer. For a Kamen Rider crossover movie, it's going to be O's, Spider-Man, and Robocop.
And Joey Tribbiani.
And Joey Tribbiani. And the Fonz turns up for no good reason.
And then finally Stephen the Lesbian kills everybody.
Yes! And Stephen the Lesbian kills all men. And women who look like men, because they're totally gay. Stephen, he's Stephen. Stephen the Lesbian.
And for some reason we've got to have Naotaki there, because he's just some strange, demented man who just wants to blame Decade for everything.
Oh, can the first monster be Pat Lee?
Yes!
The fight takes 15 minutes of just continuously one-fist punching.
You one-fist punching while Pat Lee has an expression like...
Rider punch.
Well, you can't actually tell whether he's... Well, you can't actually tell whether he's hurt, surprised, amused, or dead.
And just for shits and giggles, they start beating Pat Lee to death with fluorodeering.
Yes, this must happen.
So O's and Spider-Man and Robocop beat Pat Lee to death with fluorodeering. We've got a film. We've got a film.
So the two riders that join up for the big finale is basically Spider-Man and Robocop.
Yeah, because O's gets bored and leaves because he's killed Pat Lee and that's it. Fluorodeering is just a stain.
And right at the end of the movie, it turns out it's just Nugget dreaming.
Oh no! Too nice for Nugget.
Nugget wakes up and finds that Bobby's in the shower.
Who then turns around and says, "What's Family Guy?"
Yeah.
Completely destroying any kind of sense. What's the old oil house?
And then they all explode.
My mind is broken now. I can't think of any more things to throw at this.
Oh, I'm just getting started. This was bear in mind, this was just a normal night at auto assembly for me and Adam.
Indeed it was. Indeed it was.
And then, right at the end, everyone explodes. It turns out that it's Squibbins who did it.
That's exactly where I was going to go. Oh,
Yes.
the monsters all have to be based on the Mega Squid.
Yes.
But they've all got Pat Lee's head.
An army of Pat Lees riding Mega Squid.
Just driving. This mountain looks too big, General Pat Lee. Well, Corporal Pat Lee, we'll just have to ride the Mega Squid up the mountain.
I do admit that the Battle of Helm's Deep would much be improved if everybody who was actually fighting for Helm's Deep would actually be Squibbins.
Squibbins versus the Mega Squid for the Battle of Helm's Deep.
Yeah, nobody tosses a Squibbin.
Nobody tosses a Squibbin, sir. And it's difficult to toss a Mega Squid.
Yeah. Mega Squid with fucking laser cannons. Like Dino Riders, but with Mega Squid.
Mega Squid, doodle-doo, Mega Squid, doodle-doo, Mega Squid.
I will actually end you.
You can't. You can't. It's a Mega Squid, man. Did you imagine it? There's like toad people riding Mega Squid and Squibbins.
Squibbins with laser guns.
One poor bastard gets the moss.
Yo, the feather sucker. No, they can have catapults with feather suckers in them.
Hey, that would be a hell of a weapon.
I know, right? Because it just completely cover you and then just
devour you.
Yeah.
You just be disintegrated over a long period of time. Oh man,
that's a movie. That's a Kamen Rider movie. Kamen Rider Squibbin.
Yeah.
I think
Squid. Squibbin on.
Well,
Mega Squid.
Mega Squid.
Technically, one of the forms on those is a kind of squid, so...
Is it Mega?
It's not Mega, though.
It's
Mega Squid and Giga Squid. Mega Squid. Mega Squid.
I don't think this is the scenario JD actually put in his mind when he wrote this question.
Henshin and combine to form Mega Squid.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't care because this.
I demand my Mega Squid transformer.
Listen to me, third-party companies. Instead of creating this shit that you create, which is beneath my notice, bring me Squibbins and Mega Squid transformers.
Well, I am actually going to send a DVD of The Future is Wild to one of these third-party companies and say, "You get on with it."
I think the Slither Sucker may be a difficult one to transform.
If they can do a Unicron head, they can do a Slither Sucker. Come on.
A third-party Piranacon based on Cthulhu.
It's cool. It's cool.
But it's not the one.
Rob's already drawing that for me, and well, it's no Mega Squid. It's not an elephant-sized land squid.
Yeah.
It doesn't walk through the jungle, eating its way through Squibbins, which are tree-dwelling squid.
So anyway,
I think we need to move on because I've just noticed on the questions what time he's going to have to read out.
Okay.
His actual name. I want to hear this in full glorious Overlord voice.
Oh no! Oh.
Go on. You know you want to do it.
I just like the fact that this whole storyline started with people raping princesses with Furbus and ended on Mega Squid.
Squibbin.
Like I say, Timmy, normal AA mate.
Yeah. I think I've had enough chats with Adam now to really get this whole feeling, but still. Okay, so I'm supposed
the lights were turned off and the talking began.
My brain has switched off. It is now broken. I've turned into Ralph. Okay, so I'm reading my own questions out in the form of Overlord.
If you would.
If you weigh more than a duck, we won't burn you.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Mad, unky, timey, wimey, limey, Matty Boo. Blame him.
We do.
Number 1. When, oh when, will I be famous?
When I decree it.
I can't answer that. When the Squibbons rule the earth.
When our brand new Mega Squid overlords decree it.
I think it will be on September 25th, 2017.
Do you know what else happens on that day?
What?
Cats and dogs living together. Total pandemonium. Armageddon.
Mega Squid's rising out of the ground.
Thousands and thousands of Mega Squid. There'll be no more room in hell because the Mega Squid shall walk the earth.
Bros are awesome, aren't they?
No.
Half of Bros is awesome because he's now doing awesome stuff in films.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It's very true. Okay, question 2. What 3 celebrities do you think should be introduced to Nugget?
It depends how famous you are.
I nominate Uncle Tiny. Followed by the Rod. The Rod goes down nicely, apparently.
Oh, well. You know.
Well, yes. We have personally strapped Phil down to a bed and put a ball gag in his mouth, because I do like my ball gags.
Why is it the only thing that went through my head there was just rape, 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 rape?
Well, after all, when I rape them, I like them to be silent in suffering.
I'm a rapist, I'm a rapist. I'm a rapist, I'm a rapist, I'm a rapist.
And after all, there is a known lube deficit down there, you know. It's all up in the oil cavity.
Oh dear Lord. Okay, celebrities.
Celebrities that should be introduced to Nugget.
Are these people who are going to die then?
Not just die.
Horribly.
No, in very, very unpleasant ways.
Their souls will be crushed.
Colonel Gaddafi.
A bit late.
Too late!
Saddam Hussein.
Too late!
Are they celebrities?
No.
Does it only have to be
Next on
3?
Dancing with the Stars, Colonel Gaddafi.
Because I'd like to say every Z-list celebrity that keeps polluting the TV.
Well,
Peter Andre.
I was actually going to say Jordan.
Yeah.
Because she is... Yes, Timmy Mallet needs to be introduced to Nugget.
She actually has another TV show.
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous.
Signed by Katie Price.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that one day, there will be a day where I need oxygen, and it's not going to be there because she exists.
It's true. Can't deny it.
Bitch.
I don't... It's a good thing my wife's not in this podcast, otherwise there'll be an hour of a very angry woman shouting into the mic.
I don't even bother getting angry about Jordan anymore. She's...
Pointless.
Yeah, it's just such a freaking waste of everything.
Oxygen?
Number 1 is Hulk Hogan.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
He needs to go.
He does need to stop.
He needs to just go away. He needs to go away. And Dixie Carter needs to stop fucking listening to him.
Have you seen he's got a new TV show where he's training midgets to fight?
I actually kind of want to see that now.
It's real. It exists.
It
It's
does.
real.
I've seen clips
It's
of
damn
it.
real.
Hulk Hogan. This will make you really laugh. There is actually a midget federation that are currently suing Hulk Hogan because he stole their idea. I shit you not. I shit you not. I read that on the Torch.
That's going to be the most beautiful thing I've heard all night. Thank you. I thank you. Suddenly all is forgiven.
Yeah.
Midgets suing Hulk Hogan.
Oh, by the way,
Beautiful.
Hulkamania is running wild again.
No, it's not.
Yawn.
No. No, it's not. It's not. Pat Lee.
Pat Lee for sure, yeah.
Pat Lee and Flora Deary and Jordan. There we go.
Yep.
Pat Lee.
Mm-hmm. Can I throw in the entire cast of EastEnders?
Yes.
Good. I'm done. Oh, and Hollyoaks. Hollyoaks will do as well.
Hollyoaks is still on?
It is still on.
It's still going. It's still going.
Anyway.
Oh, I've got one more. George... Oh, no, hang on. John Romero. John Romero, just simply because he made Daikatana. And to this day, Daikatana was the biggest fuck you I have ever seen in gaming. After 5 years of adverts that just said John Romero was about to kick your ass, which is what the advert said, the game came out and was utter shit. And Games Workshop.
Yes. Yes, that's...
Bunch of fucking rip-off merchants. I mean, seriously. Fucking what? Is this how much metal costs nowadays, is it? Is this how much lead costs? God damn you.
Switch to decaf.
I bought a video game. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I bought a video game that cost the same price as a lead figure.
I wouldn't be fucking surprised. Oh.
Shall we move on to question 3 before
You're taking pocket money from kids, you bunch of bastards.
Yeah, and don't sell dice. What the fuck?
Sell plenty of plastic rulers, though, don't you? And do you know how much they are? For a plastic fucking ruler? 8 quid.
8 quid?
Is it the official ruler that only works for Games Workshop stuff, though?
Apparently so, yes.
Yeah, they can shove it up their arse.
Sideways. Thereby proving that it works for other things other than Games Workshop.
Ah, there we go.
Cocks. Right, anyhow.
Why do you not sell dice? Sorry.
Because they're greedy gits. That's about right. Fair dues.
Because they want me to murder again. That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah. Question 3.
Mm-hmm.
Shall I? Okay.
Can do.
One day, you hear a knock on the door. You open it. After looking outwards for exactly 34 seconds, you look downwards. You see a monkey. His name is Mr. Bubbles. It gives you a note on a piece of tattered parchment. You read the parchment. For some reason, he wrote the twice. That Time Lord is a bit of a grammar whore. Anyway, it then says it has a question. What do you think of cheap imitation knockoffs and people stealing your material?
Right, I'm off. I'll see you guys later.
Oh, you're staying exactly where you are, sir.
Mr. Bubbles then flees, for he hears that Logan Blaze might be nearby. I loved Logan Blaze. He was my man bitch once.
It's crunchy in milk.
I hear his mammary glands actually bleed vinegar. The other side is Scotch. I like Scotch.
I hear he's a dirty, dirty boy.
I can't get the image of Matt suckling Logan Blaze out of my mind.
Bitty!
It's good for your fish and chips, apparently.
Bitty? Is that what
If I were able to eat fish and chips, I would agree with this.
Yeah, but you just want to suckle on teats.
Yes. Why am I still doing this Overlord voice? Because it's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. Moving swiftly on.
Yeah. So, yeah, Mr. Glenn Jakeman.
What?
What do you feel of cheap imitation knockoffs and people stealing your material?
I think it's deplorable. I think it's absolutely deplorable.
I love third-party
I hate people like that who just steal randomly bits of other people's podcasts and material and toys and disgusting behaviour.
I remember this podcast that was so blatantly Moonbase too. It was unreal. I believe it was called the Autobot City podcast.
I remember that. What happened to them? Didn't they just vanish into the ether?
Oh, the guy that the guy who ran the podcast one day had a moody flip and said he didn't want to do it anymore because it was just shit.
And then one of the competition went down.
Yeah.
And then another challenger appeared.
A wild Back to the 80s has appeared. I use Nightmare. It's super effective.
I use Stop Stealing Our Shit. It's super effective. We don't steal, we homage.
No. I think we all do the same thing. We have in-jokes, and those in-jokes just keep going round and round and round.
Well, look, if something works, then you're going to use it for your... you see something that works, and that you can not steal, but use a similar idea.
Mm-hmm.
Like the news jingle.
Oh, yeah. Oh, to be honest with you, you go back to our early shows, and a lot of that is cribbed from all other places.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, ours is cobbled from... I mean, one of the main inspirations for ours was obviously Moonbase 2.
Yes.
Because, and it was for a lot of the smaller Transformers podcasts, I think, out there.
Oh, very much so. I mean, Moonbase 2 was one of the reasons that we started doing it. Well, I started setting all this up. It's brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. So yeah, it all depends, Mr. Timey, on exactly how much has been stolen.
And how much of your own spin you put it on.
Yeah. If you're repeating something verbatim, then
yeah. In fact, what I say, the news jingle thing, it would have been so simple for us to just use a generic tune, but no, I thought it's a good idea. We could do with one ourselves, and found the BBC's one, which I did kind of steal. But they've not used it in 25 years. You know, and then put our own little spin on it. So I'll admit that the Jean-Luc Picard song was definitely... it wasn't stolen so much as it's the first time I've heard it. I think it's brilliant, and it kind of fitted because Picard won that argument on the homework this week.
Yeah.
But
that's not stealing because the guy who made it came up with it.
Yeah.
I found it and went, yes, because it's a work of frickin' art. It's beautiful. Jean-Luc Picard, USS Enterprise.
They actually showed, here's to the finest crew in Starfleet. That episode was on the other day. And then as soon as he said it, I went, dun, dun, Captain Jean-Luc Picard. It gets in your head. It's an earworm.
It really is. I actually saw, what was it? Soundwave SG1 put something up on Twitter. I'm trying to think what it was. It was one of the lines. It was at Tanagan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that bit. And I just couldn't help myself. And I just started sending him, you'll have to call again.
Not quite ready.
My love for you.
Just on a similar theme, have you seen the Epic Rap Battle of History, the Captain Kirk one?
I haven't.
Oh, you need to see that. It's Christopher Columbus versus Captain Kirk. And it's Epic. Lloyd does the Captain Kirk, and it is so spot on. And he doesn't rap, he talks. He talks and it rhymes. So it's perfect Shatner.
Awesome.
It really is very, very good.
Rob, how do you feel about cheap imitation knockoffs and people stealing your material?
I think it's terrible. I think they should all be strung up by their unmentionables.
Especially people who steal material that is made of 2 words. And say it to you when you're least expecting it. You know which words I mean.
I'm saying nothing because I don't want to give you ideas.
What about the idea of, like, sending... what the hell were they called? Cyberverse. How do you feel about people stealing that idea and sending you Cyberverse?
Again, I think they should be hung by their unmentionables.
Yeah, here, folks. He wants Cyberverse. Get back to sending him Cyberverse.
Don't even fucking dare.
The baby needs Cyberverse.
It could be
It's not for Rob.
It
for the baby.
It could be worse. I mean, Rob could be, hating on things like Mermins and Manta Force. If it was stuff like
Manta Force.
Don't tell me you dislike Manta Force.
No, I'd not thought about that in years. I used to love Manta Force.
Oh, see, now, for a little moment there you had me. I thought you had no taste. But you know what? You saved yourself.
He doesn't have any taste. He doesn't like Cyberverse.
You see, we could start that one up again, but the one that really gets me at the moment, the one I love more than anything else, is Phil needs mask. By mask, I don't mean mask. By mask, I mean boss. I mean Dirt Hoss. He needs Stealth Force Dirt Hoss.
Yeah, he does. Thousands of them.
Everyone must now send him Dirt Hoss.
Either that or Halloween masks.
I spent a Christmas present!
Here you go, here's thousands of Halloween masks for Christmas. In the middle of them, there will be 250 Dirt Hosses. Boss Hoss, whatever he's called. I can't remember.
Boss Hog.
Boss Hog. Yes, there will be 250 Boss Hogs.
Protractor in the centre.
Yeah. And the set square.
Tommy, how do you feel about people stealing your material and cheap imitation knockoffs?
I just shrug it off. I honestly do. I do find it really, really funny sometimes. Like, I'd say something on Twitter, and then that person would just like blatantly do exactly the same thing, or start a series of podcasts about commentaries. I've seen 2 people do that now, but I just shrug it off.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, though.
Indeed.
So if people are not copying you but doing similar things to you, then that means that they must like what you're doing.
Exactly. Now, the thing is, at the end of the day, they're well within their rights to do a podcast or show or YouTube video or anything like that and put it up. That's fine. But here's a bit of advice. You've got to have a personality that shines through. You've got to have some charisma or something like that. Or let's just
I was going to say, how the fuck have we been going for 2 years?
We got charisma because we're awesome. But you know what I mean.
Modest too.
You seriously know what I mean, though. But let you sell that, because if you ain't the sort of person that's got the right personality for it, then it's not going to work.
Well, like
I don't know.
Put your own spin on it.
Or I could be completely talking out my arse. I don't know. But it's down to the individual who makes the show whether it will work or not.
I think it's got to be entertaining, hasn't it? That's the main thing.
Yeah, well, if it's just... I have seen some god-awful YouTube videos out there of people just... They're not cut out for it.
Yeah.
They haven't got an engaging personality to begin with. And then there is a big difference between engaging an audience and relaying facts.
Yeah.
If you just go on camera and just say, this is a toy, and it transforms, and this is how it transforms, and this is what you do, and that's not entertaining. That's going to entertain no one. One of the biggest gripes I have is when people say, I don't like videos with just people's hands. I hate that, because there's some very good people who do that. There's a guy called Emgo.
Yep. That's exactly where I was going to go.
He is fucking brilliant, that guy.
Yep.
He's one of the most entertaining YouTubers out there. And generally, 9 times out of 10, you just see his hands.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't matter, because his commentary and the things he says, he's a very entertaining individual. Admittedly, it doesn't matter what you see of the person, as long as what they say and how they put it across is interesting. And he does some very good stuff, some little skits, So some of the little skits he does is brilliant. It's not as sort of polished as, say, like Evangelist or someone like that, but it's still increasingly entertaining. The guy, and you can actually, if you go through his videos, you can see the evolution of him getting more comfortable doing it as well. But he's far and away one of my favourite YouTubers, is Emgo. So check him out. Emgo 316.
And the fact he has the Bionicle dude as his mascot.
Mascot's brilliant. I love Mascot.
And to be absolutely honest, my show is not exactly original anyway. It is a roundtable show. It is a commentary show. Name one thing that hasn't done that. It's not original, and I'll be exactly.
Ours?
So
you do commentaries.
Yeah.
You do roundtables.
You call them... We don't do roundtables. We call them commentaries, but really it's just tits talking over a film.
Well, wouldn't you call your spotlight the round table?
I suppose in a way you could, but it's generally just the hosts who do it, isn't it? Is that a round table? Does that count?
I'd say it would.
But
I mean, it depends if all the hosts are into it, because if we do a nightmare one, then Jeremy won't be there. But,
but one thing that makes it stand out is the fact that you don't know what the next one's going to be. It's always going to be something different week in, week out, and I like that. I really do like the fact that it's always something different. So, that's it.
Well, like I say, just whatever you do, put your own spin on it, and that will make it entertaining and engaging. If you're just going to carve and copy things, then it isn't going to work, because people will know that you're carbon copying. But then, another good example of it is that guy with the glasses. If you see all the reviews on there, they do essentially the same thing. But if you're going to watch Spoonie or the Cinema Snob, they do very different material but it's essentially the same thing.
It's the same format, but with different personalities shining through.
They put their own spin on it. They do their own thing within the confines of a structure, and that's how to do it. Ooh, look at me, fucking YouTube guru. What a twat.
Rob, as the creator and host of... I'm so sorry. I was about to call it something else entirely there. As the host and creator of Quick Change the Channel, I promise you I wasn't going to call it It's Shit, It's Brilliant. What do you think of all this?
Well, I mean, Quick Change the Channel just came about because we wanted to just do some commentaries on movies rather than just Transformers episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But it was all movies that were guilty pleasures that were so shit they were brilliant. To be honest, I didn't think that anyone had actually listened to them. It was just something that me and Stu wanted to do for a laugh.
And to this day, the Street Fighter episode is our most downloaded episode of anything ever.
I
really?
downloaded it twice.
Of course.
Of course.
I like the Guyver one as well. It actually made me break out my DVD out of the box I was going to sell it in and keep it.
Really?
Yep.
Awesome.
There you go, Rob. But before we start just spending the next hour blowing our own trumpets, or each other's, I think it's time to call this... Ooh, nasty. I think it's time to call this done for the night.
Yes.
So, it is. So, with that being said, special guest number 1, Mr. Glenn Jakeman. Would you like to pimp yourself out? And then maybe tell people where they can find you.
I would. You can find us on the Nerdsphere at thenerdsphere@bluestorm.com. If you look on there, you will see us on btte.libsyn.com. For the podcast itself, you can find me on Blip TV. Just look on Blip TV. Yeah, that's pretty much it, really. I need to do some videos. I haven't done any in about a month and a half.
Yeah, I've got ones sitting on my computer that I need to get around to editing. Maybe tomorrow.
I have a reason for it. I'm, it's not that I'm just being a lazy but well, yeah, it is actually, but whatever. Listen to the podcast. Watch the videos. Don't comment on it because we don't care about your feedback. Yes, we do. Please.
And leave some listeners' questions.
Yes, we need more listeners' questions, please. Tricky.
Rob.
You on a while.
Rob, get over the back of the 80s and start asking questions.
Oh, I've got some good questions.
Yeah, you can find Chaos Envy on the Nerdsphere network. He's now an admin. I'm so scared.
No.
You can also find Chaos Envy at www.robcoveredinoil.com.
No, I took that right down.
Bigboysandboots.com. Leatherskateboarder.com.
Say hello to man meat.
www.robsmouthfulofmeat.com. www.robsasleeping.com.
www.letshopehedoesn'twakeup.com.
I was going to say something to that one, but no, that was just very wrong.
www.whereyouLikeAFistPuppet.com.
www.creepinsideyouLikeAWarmKitten.com.
www.I'mGettingRestrainingOrders.com.
www.I'veGotAGoodLawyer.com.
None of these
injurylawyersforyou.com.
None of these websites cannot be found on any of the Friends of the Nerdsphere part of the blog, by the way. We do not endorse any of Chaos Envy's sidelines.
Extracurricular activities.
www.robsnightsounds.com.
www.robshirtcamera.com.
www.nightvisiongogglesasurprisinglycheap.com.
www.robstrousercam./UK MSN Google Mail, whatever.
www.takingit-too-far-now-timey.com.
Timey, you can just pimp yourself out.
Don't ask me that! Jesus, have you got half an hour to blink in spare?
No.
Okay then. Condense. Pimp yourself out in 30 seconds or less.
You can find us on the nerdsphere.madmoose.com or the nerdsphere.blogspot.com. You can find me on shutupandwatchthis.podomatic.com. How's that?
Oh, that'll do.
That was really nice.
Oh, and the Timey to Wimey channel on YouTube. Look for that. He's a bit of a douche. He does reviews only when he can be bothered, but when he does, they're generally lackluster.
You can also find him at www.timeylikesthecockinhissleep.com.
What?
Sponsored by Rehypnol. Rob, do you want to pimp anything out?
Not really.
I'm kind of worried about you now. I'm going to roll call with you? What the fuck?
www.timewon'tbesleeping.thatweekend.com.
www.rolloutrollfun.org.
www.rollhipmall.com.
That's Xenotron's thing.
Yikes, that's us in trouble. Right, and you can obviously find us at www.oldoilhouse.co.uk or on the Nerdsphere. With that, I think it's time we said goodbye. Night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Toodles.
Last word.
Not a fucking chance, sir.
I love big butts that cannot lie. Some of it gonna deny.
The girl walks in with an itty bitty waist and everything on it, just like get sprung.
Oh, Nugget judges you.
Yes. Bye.
This has been an Old Doyle House production. Visit us at olddoylehouse.co.uk. Find us on Facebook or on Twitter at Old Doyle House. Email us at olddoylehouse@gmail.com. Yes.
Once upon a time on the assembly line ran my brilliant designs made of plastic. Then the factory called me, said we are appalled. We fear your new designs are too drastic. What babies with buzzsaws, these bakers in charge? They lacked vision and imagination. Challenge me, will you, I'll show you all. I'll stick to it, this wretched company flows. I'm not just some nobody here doing time. You fat bastards need me, and my brilliant mind. And so, they fired me. As I wept, I packed my explosives and berries with knives and gasoline-filled super soakers. And deep within my mind, my revenge grew ever corrosive. Until they all fall down. Climbing to the top, I hear a helicopter talking to me as the cops surround every corner of the factory. Gasoline is neither to me, it's to me, to infinity, to insanity.
sing.
We are the forgotten, those left behind. The experimenters. The shunned. The disrespected. The abused. The power core. The exiled. Wanted. Transformers Power Core. Welcome to New Savage